welcome everyone to there we are. All right, welcome everyone to a very special episode of Deadly Torch Adventures. Hopefully y'all can hear me. We're looking good. We're sounding good. This is all new tech for us and new things.
Can you hear us, chat?
Yes. Can you hear us, chat?
F's in the chat if you can hear us.
Yes. I cannot really check chat a whole lot right now because I put all my questions on my phone like a smart person.
All right. Looks like loud and clear. We got our first
Good.
F in the chat. Very nice.
Good. Thank you. All right. So I am here with the man, the myth, the legendary Grim Games. He's got a new Kickstarter out, Servants of the Dragon Lord. It dropped, already back and funded. So
thank you.
Yes, I'm excited to get it in hand. I'm excited to run it on stream, and I'm just excited. So
thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. I'm a big fan of your guys's now as well.
Thank you.
Come on, like for those that don't know, these folks' first Twitch channel to first group I've seen run one of my pieces anywhere in the world. That was pretty cool, outside of my own groups, obviously. Yes. Seeing you guys run Last Style of the Dread Legion was absolutely legendary. And I enjoyed every minute of it, so I'm hooked. So you guys are doing a great job. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. All right. I was going to say, to start with, please tell everyone who you are, what you do, and about your newest scene. That does not count as my question, but like, that's question 0. You know how you have session
question
0?
Zero. Yes.
That's question 0. So.
Session 0, question 0. Now, so who am I? I am Grim Games. My name is Andrew. I'm a high school teacher here in California. And a couple of years ago, I was like, I really love this system, Shadow Dark. It inspired me to start pursuing that channeling another aspect of the creative element outside of being a forever DM, to take some of those adventures that I've written or the stuff that I've done at my table and bring them out to the world. So I started part-time writing and learning something new every day, building a project, doing all the social media. Man, there's so many rabbit holes to go down. Yes.
We are learning that ourselves.
I know, right?
Like we're not the biggest fans of social media, but we understand its influence, and you kind of have to use it if you want to get anywhere. So.
It's basically like a necessary evil, right? Because if you want to, it's way more efficient than the old ways of, hey, I made this thing. Oh, wait, oopsie, nobody knows about it except the people in my local area. Now with, learning about Kickstarter. I mean, I did Kickstarter way back about a decade ago, not personally, but backing a project or two. Yeah. And seeing the success of the indie scene and Shadow Dark and whatnot. Well, that was like, wait a second, I could, use that and get a small scale audience. And look, here we are chatting. So that's been a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. All right. We did promise the audience that we're getting crunked. We're getting drunk. Yes. So I got my American Maker's Mark right here, because it's my cheap go-to when I'm low budget.
So oh yeah, go ahead. You first.
Now I'm gonna say, and because this is a very special occasion, I don't know if Sage is in the chat, but he'll be cursing me. But I got my Quest Ends Dragon whiskey.
Ooh,
This will be for a glass too, not a whole glass. It'll be like a little sip, but I got that. All right, what are you drinking, sir?
And so for me, I always make this joke, but when I go and get Crown Royal, they give you a dice bag, and and then you get some whiskey potions on the flip side, right? You get some bonus content from those amazing dice bags. So I've got my Canadian whiskey here. We're doing the black, and we're doing the Marquis. This one, I saw this because I'm a sucker for Crown Royal bags. So this one comes in this like deep purple, and then this, of course, black. So
Fideo's gonna want that deep purple one. Yeah. All right. So for this dual interview, because I'm interviewing you, you're interviewing me. Do we want to go at like I ask you a question, then you answer, then ask me a question? Do you want me to ask all of your questions and then you ask all your, like, how do you want to do this? We have not planned anything, guys.
Yes, we're doing it live.
We're doing it live, improv,
doing it live,
and we're drinking. What could possibly go wrong?
What could go wrong?
And on the new tech that I know nothing about. My wife set it all up. So
I figure we just see where it naturally goes. Maybe you tee us up with a question. Maybe I ask a follow-up. We'll see where it goes. But if we feel like it's dragging, maybe we pass the baton. But I'd say, why don't you, since I introduced myself, why don't you introduce the basics of Xer0VI?
Yes, I am Xer0VI, or pronounced Xer0VI if your name is Kelsey Dion, as she's the only one in that. Fun story about that. I was chatting in one of her streams, and she was like, Xer0VI, like she had no idea how to say my name. But so that's a nice little inside joke there. But yes, I am the game master or host of Deadly Torch Adventures, which was created by my wife and I as I don't know if I want to say spin-off or pseudo continuation of another streaming group we were a part of that kind of unfortunately failed. But we were like, no, we want to do it, and we want to do it. We weren't in charge of that group, and things are being done that should not have been done. And my wife and I are both control freaks, and sometimes it's like the only way to do it is to do it yourself. So we were like,
I so identify with that. Oh my god. You have no idea.
It's like we're gonna start our own streaming group with blackjack and hookers. No, there was no malice towards it. In fact, most of the people in DTA were part of that group. They came along with us. So and even the computer we used, like we got everyone's blessing. It was kind of bittersweet when it ended, but
yeah.
Gotcha. I am one half of DTA, Fidela being the second half.
Very cool. Let's see. I'm gonna just start us off with another question, and then I'll, I guess, answer it on the flip side, or you can pivot how you see fit. But
I got 14 for you, so I'm gonna ask
perfect. So my question to you, give me your like TLDR bullet point version of like your gaming history. How did you get to this point?
Shit.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. It's not going to be TLDR.
Yeah,
but so naturally, Dungeons and Dragons. I did not officially get into the tabletop game until I was an adult. It was around 2018, shortly after a hurricane destroyed our town. But I've had D&D influence. Like I played Baldur's Gate 2. I played even the Diablo ones, Dark Alliance, and all that. 3rd edition 3.5. I've known about it. I've known what it is. I remember being in stores, seeing the books, thinking they looked cool. I remember in high school, there was this one DM, and this guy was definitely, he's your stereotypical give nerd a bad name guy. Like he wore a trench coat in Florida. Like he's that guy. And I remember and some of my friends played in his game, and she said like, oh, if I buy my DM a soda, he's going to give me enough experience to level up. And I was like, what the hell? That makes no sense. So I'm like that. So I'm like, she kind of explained the rules to me, and I'm like, that doesn't sound like a fun game. What if the DM sucks? You mean one guy's in control of all the fun? So but eventually my wife and I, for a while, we would do, babe, you're bumping the mics. but for a while, my wife and I, we would host board game nights. And so, and a lot of that, people started saying, we want to do D&D, we want to do D&D, but none of us had a dungeon master. And the one person, I don't know if he's in the chat, Fenrir, that's usually what he goes by. He's the one guy who could DM because he's played pretty much every edition of the game. And then he was like, I don't want to DM. And it got to a point where like the game was just not going to happen. So I thought to myself, I was like, all right, back in the 80s when this shit first came out, no one knew what they were doing. They bought the books, they read the rules, they figured it out. And 5th edition was already upon us at that time. So I was like, I'm going to buy the books and I'm going to figure it out. So I started with the Lost Mine and Found Delver set. And then I got the 3-book, you can kind of see the bookcase next to that red dragon over there. Bought that slip book. And I just dove in. I learned to play and DM at the same time. I was a DM before I ever actually got to play the game. I don't recommend learning it.
Yeah, that's and that's what brought you to here. Like when did you make the pivot to like learning about like indie OSRs type stuff?
So I actually did like 5th edition. Also didn't know much, but when I get into something, I tend to research the fuck out of it. So I'm like, okay, yeah, this is the 5th edition. It's like, well, what was the 1st edition, like the original white box? And then so I did my research and all that. And then honestly, I was actually happy with 5e. And then the terrible, god awful coastal wizards were like, let's do some fucked up things, such as the OGL fiasco.
Gotcha.
And sending Pinkertons to someone's house and just all the shady
huge
business.
laundry list of
yes. I can go on and on and on. But it got to a point where I'm like, I cannot in good conscience give this company my money. I need to find something else. And it was actually Professor Dungeon Master, a dungeon guy. I watched him a lot for DM advice. Him and Luke Hart pretty much got me through the dark times of how do I DM when never being a player. So shout out to both of them. But Dungeon Master more so because his advice I really, really liked. And so when I saw Shadowdark, I saw the artwork. I saw that first person video that looked really cool. And I was like, this is it. This is the one. But
this is the one.
There were other games. So Shadow of the Demon Lord is another one I like too. So I do like other tabletop games. But Shadowdark, essentially, I bought before I got Shadowdark, I got a book called White Box Fantastic Medieval Adventure Game. And if you look on the camera, it's a little white book in there. And that one, that's probably the first OSR book I actually read. And one of the enemies in there stuck out to me because it has a death knight where every time it hits a player, not crit, but hits a player, they go down a level. And I'm like, that's fucking brutal. I'm like, holy shit. I was like, and then there was like a naked girl like deep in the cover, and I'm a sucker for half naked women. You put them in your book, I'm buying it. So
there you go.
Yeah. And then it made me more excited for Shadowdark because I'm like, okay, this OSR style playing. I still feel like I do have a lot of 5e isms I need to get rid of, and I'm slowly but surely killing them. So,
well, cool. Thank you for sharing that origin story. Yeah. I would say
there's no TLDR.
No. I teed you up to fail at that objective on purpose. But and by the way, since I do not actively have the chat in front of me, you're gonna have to, steer us towards responding to them a little bit if you want to. I know that it's probably stream etiquette.
Yeah. Well, I have my stuff up on my phone, so if Dayla, if you happen to see questions from the chat, just come in and ask. Yes, you can talk in my ear. What's your origin story?
We got the studio. There we go. We got the studio in our ears. Yes, very nice.
They can't hear for doing it. All right. Yep.
It's just a dead silence and us laughing.
That's how it's sounding right now, actually. All right. So my first question. What? Okay, you gotta really watch your mic, babe.
Yeah, feel free to as far as the chat goes, maybe we just check in with that in just a second.
Yeah,
maybe copy and paste them into Discord, or just give us one of the first questions there.
Yes, you should make your voice heard at this point.
Yeah, you can.
So, Laser Cat. Yes. Here are our thoughts on the latest. So LaserCat asked, I gotta repeat because no chat in here. LaserCat asked, what are our thoughts on the latest announcements on 5.5e, like Dark Sun and Star Wars? Star Wars? Or really? I heard they're doing a World of Warcraft one too.
World of Warcraft, yeah.
Star Wars for me is dead. It's just let it die. Disney killed it. It's not coming back. It needs to die for a few years, and maybe 10 years from now we can try bringing it back. But let it die. Let it rest in peace. That's all I'm saying about that. Dark Sun, I am excited. I will actually buy the materials, as much as I hate giving Wizards money. I will buy it because they said the books are going to be rated R. There's going to be images of nudity, violence, gore, and they're going to be shrink wrapped. And the trailer they showed of the person ripping off someone's head was fucking brutal as fuck. Do I think they're going to do a good job with it? Fuck no, they're going to ruin it. But I will take what I like from it and use what I don't. And I'm hoping I can at least get some cool maps out of it because I like maps as much as I like minis. So, Yes, Lasercat. I am excited for Dark Sun. And then I heard about a World of Warcraft one too, and I think that's odd, but I feel like they should have did that with 4th edition.
I think, I don't know if it might have been in the same announcement. I know they also either there or earlier announced Greyhawk as well.
Okay, I'll be excited for Greyhawk.
I think Luke Gygax,
the original campaign.
Yeah, they're rebooting that as well. I would just say, since why don't I'm going to give my quick origin story and then answer your question, because I feel like that might provide Lasercat and the audience with some of the context for my feelings as well. So as far as like gaming in terms of tabletop role playing, like I've been video gaming since I was like 4 years old. Like I got my first Nintendo Entertainment System very early on, and Duck Hunt, Mario Brothers, all that stuff.
Yeah, same.
And then over the years, right, expanding into all kinds of different hobbies, like, you know, CCGs, like Magic the Gathering. I mean, I didn't play Magic the Gathering right away because this kind of relates to TTRPGs. My parents were a little bit more sussed by like Satanic Panic related stuff. A little bit of lingering effects of that into the 90s. And so in terms of like the first tabletop RPG I was able to play was one of the Star Wars RPGs. We started playing this in like middle school, maybe 9th grade and 9th grade to 10th grade. And but after, you know, the Lord of the Rings movies had come and gone, like our family went and saw those every Christmas in the theaters.
Oh, nice.
My parents started to lighten up, and I'm like, I've been telling you, they're just Lord of the Rings with dice. Okay, it's not a big deal. It's not, you know. And yes, there are demons, but you kill them. You're the good guys. It's not a big deal. It's like, I know, right? And hey, I play Doom, right? I'm shooting demons. How is it anyway? So it just got a bunch, because there was like those stories in the news back in the 80s that like some group of kids, like some guy killed some people, and then you know, oh, it was D&D that did it. There was a big hoopla over that. Anyway. But so over time, that stuff moderated. I started playing in high school 3.5.
And that's
then
where Fidela started.
Yeah, 3.5, 3.5, and
yes,
God,
third edition.
God is telling us 3rd edition is what she played. Got it. Okay, get it.
Yes,
right.
God. Sorry,
okay.
God.
Thank you, God. But yeah. So and then also Pathfinder 1st edition. So like I remember when I lived through one of Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro's, like, I don't remember when Hasbro exactly bought Wizards of the Coast, but one of the big scandals back in like 2007, 8 or whatever. I don't remember exactly when, but like it was the 3.5 4th edition split, right?
Oh, yeah.
So 4th edition, like the general criticism was that it, like, they were trying to, you know, World of Warcraft was really popular, and they were trying to make a game that emulated more of that like combat style play, allegedly, and that split the crowd. People that were really invested in 3rd edition 3.5 really stuck with Pathfinder, and so
if I move my fat head, there's some 4 ebooks right there.
Nice.
White tab or off-white tab. So.
I've never really played 4th edition. I played at the time. I was like, all right, well, my groups were doing Pathfinder, so we heavily invested in that. Played that for a long time. I really grew up in that sense playing lots of crunchy systems. I didn't really know what else there was, because I was really, all right, this is the way. This is the thing we do. And then over time, you know, 5th edition came out. We played that. It was a little bit lighter than it was not as crunchy, but a lot lighter. But it was fun. We enjoyed that. We've both played both because they scratched different itches for us. And there's a lot of good adventure paths in Pathfinder. I liked the lore at the time of 1st edition. But I became like a forever DM, and really got burnt out running Super Crunch all the time. I still do, but it was we got questions. Okay, we'll get to those in just a second. But but you know, got it. But yeah, so once the over time though, I started getting more and more burnout. I'm like, I'm not enjoying this hobby. Like once you get to like level 12, 15, so the top half of the curve, boy, oh boy, everything slogs down. And I'm like, all right, we're gonna have a 5-hour session, and we go around the table 5 times if we're lucky in this combat. Or I hate shopping episodes. I'm like, we go here, and all we did was shop for 3 hours, and then I'm as the dungeon master. I'm like, I'm so bored right now. So so like that was, I was at peak burnout, and then OGL Crisis happens. I'm like, screw this game.
Screw you guys. I'm going home. Yes. It's like, fuck you guys. Yes.
I mean, because like I've been playing Magic the Gathering for years, and there is also a series of unfortunate events.
That
leads to that
fucking their Magic
being
customers.
trash, in my opinion. From when playing it as in a 4th grader, right? My parents saying you can use all the cards but the black cards. and anyway, so I see Kelsey's one of her ads for Shadow Dark, and I think it was like a Google ad on my phone, right?
Oh, nice.
Shout out to ads. For a rare W for ads. And I clicked on, I'm like, what could this possibly be? I clicked on it. I was instantly hooked because it looked, the aesthetic of it was so much like one of my favorite video games, Darkest Dungeon, and I'm like, I want to play that. And so there you go.
Well, you answered my first question, which was why Shadow Dark RPG. So there you go.
I mean, I can dive more into it in a minute, but I'd say to get to Lasercat's question, as far as like I basically told all my groups, hey, I am, I've taught several of my local teachers and students how to play multiple systems, but I'm like, all right, all of our campaigns that have 5th edition in its name, any mainline D&D, I'm retiring from running those, because I mean, like, you only have so much time in the day.
You do,
and I want to. There are so many systems out there. I'm just not interested in playing mainline D&D anymore for a variety of reasons. And so when it comes to all these new announcements, I haven't even paid attention to them, to be honest with you. Right. So I just don't really care. But if there are cool things, like you said, Xer0, that might inspire my work or my play, that I might extract from them, who knows? But I don't think I'm going to buy anything from them.
No, understandable. Like I said, I consider myself a Dark Sun collector. I even have like the print-on-demand Dark Sun book. Dark Sun's probably my my second favorite. It's probably my favorite campaign setting. So anything Dark Sun, I'm gonna eventually own.
Definitely shout out to Chubby Funster, one of the big creators in this space, who is in the process of making Shadow Sun, which is the Dark Sun, his Dark Sun version.
The Shadow Sun revised edition. And I've been using Shadow Sun for the psionics in my homebrew Shadow Dark Sun game. We've been running for a year now. So,
nice. All right, let's take we got a question from Cree.
Cree, shout out Cree. I probably should have put the chat on my second monitor, and I didn't.
Boxers or banana hammocks?
Boxers are banana hammocks. All right, so
Nice.
Okay, let's see what you did there. I do a combination. Well, not at the same time. For my work and my normal job, I usually go with compression because I have to move. I stretch patients, so I have to be able to move with them. And boxers are not stretchy. But at home, I like to hang free as much as I can. So I'm in boxers right now. So boxers for the weekends, compression for the work week, or banana hammock for the work week.
I am a boxer briefs. I'll take that combo. I'm not, but I don't really, anything that feels good and fits well. That's all I care about.
And if I'm sleeping, it's the birthday suit. All right. So one of my questions, which I know some of the answer, because you can look at the cover of Color Out of Space and tell, but what are some of your influences? Obviously H.P. Lovecraft, but
sure. Yeah. So
for your writing influences, is there any like adventure author you tend to like, or that inspired you or influenced you?
Yeah. So as far as writing and like adventure authors, I mean, I liked right now. I'm not saying that I'm doing a good job of emulating them in any way, shape, or form, right? Because like my style is what do the spirits tell me, and I do
Yeah,
that.
I get that.
So like I
I
am
can
very
relate
much
that.
like we kind of talked about. I'm very much an independent thinker. Very much like I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna do. And
Mm-hmm.
if I screw up, I learn something and try something new. But I take bits and pieces, like learning from others. I would say, I've been running. I've been delving into the original D&D's adventures. I've been running Keep on the Borderlands for like
Nice.
3 different groups now.
That's a good one.
With using one of them's using Shadow Dark, one of them's using Pathfinder First Edition,
Ooh.
another one using Shadow Dark. And so I learning that sandbox style play has been huge. Also, again, Chubby Funster, I've looked at some of he has a great Game
Yes.
Master's Guide. Highly
Yes.
recommend. It's like $2 to
I need to get
$3
that.
on drive through
Mm-hmm.
for the PDF, and it's also pretty cheap in print. And because again, one of my uh, one of the things, like I did a lot of adventure paths from Pathfinder,
Mm-hmm.
but one of my criticisms of those now, in terms of why I don't really vibe with them as much, is because they're very you might say more on that narrative side. Like,
Mm-hmm.
here is all of the things that will happen, rather
Mm-hmm.
than all the things that could happen. Right?
Yeah.
I feel like they, because again, they have a clear starting point and end point. And I just find that ends up boring me. Also, I vibe with like that Lazy Dungeon Master book as well.
Yes. Life Flourish. Yeah.
Yeah, because I in order to keep dungeon mastering and not burn out, I got to reduce the amount of prep that I do. So like this
Mm-hmm.
whole philosophy of limited or a zero to no, little prep, right?
Yes.
And leaning more into sandbox emergent storytelling,
Mm-hmm.
that has really rekindled my flame for dungeon mastering. And so like I've
Same.
really dived into that. And that's, I mean, again, not all of my adventures reflect that, because it's something that I'm learning. And I consider it a sliding scale. Sometimes an adventure is a little bit more on rails. Some it might be more sandbox. Sometimes you're writing an adventure that you're going to you might put into your sandbox, right? So
Mm-hmm.
people are going to have different tastes on that. So that's kind of
Yeah.
where my head's at now. But it's really just whatever I feel like doing.
Gotcha. And then I got another few questions. Oh,
Yeah.
God has a question. God,
One, I think I actually
answer.
got my voice on there, so they should be able to actually hear me now.
Chat.
Can you
I
hear
F.
could
the
be
voice of
wrong.
Geed?
Two, when you're ready, I do have another question, but I can read it out this time for you guys.
All right,
When
as
you're
long as I can hear
when
you.
you're there, but go ahead and let me know when you're ready for them.
They can hear you.
Oh,
Laser Cat
yay.
says,
Sweet.
nice.
Sweet.
Fadela can
All
be heard.
right, God can be
Yeah.
heard now. I do want to ask this one because this
Yeah.
is something I've noticed, because ever since, it's almost been a year since we've actually met in October. Well, met when
Right.
you randomly messaged me like, "Hey, want a free horror adventure?" And I'm like, "This might be a scam, but sure."
Yeah.
And then, but ever since then, it's almost like you've been a writing machine. So I gotta know, how long does it take from like an idea about an adventure to a fully printed book? How long is the
Sure.
overall process to get something made? And also, how do you manage to write so fast? Because it's like Color Out of Space. I just got in hand, and it already Servants of the Dragon Lord, and then it's like, what's like? It's like,
Sure.
okay. I mean,
So yeah, I definitely have answers to all that. So
okay, yeah, it's a loaded question. It's actually
no
two of my
problem.
questions combined. So
No problem. So step one, as far as, well, also, by the way, on the prior question, in terms of other like inspirations, I just wanted to add, like with all my in terms of literary stuff or media stuff, I want to do more sword and sorcery. I want to do more cosmic horror. So I just want to plug that
I love
as
both
well.
those things.
Yeah. So but as far as I'll start with the latter. So speed in terms of writing. One of the blessings that I've been able to have the last couple of years is I actually switched from full-time teaching to part-time teaching. So
there's
not any crazy secret to it. It definitely helps. So we've been blessed in a particular situation where me and my wife don't necessarily both have to work full-time. And so she was like, all right, cool. If you want to pursue this passion, go for it. If you fail, back to the mines. So she's given me a little bit of leeway to try this out. And as long as I can, I have to provide quarterly reports as far as do I see growth? Is this working out? So, but yeah, I've been able to, by working, I teach right now AP World History, and I do that. I worked it out with my school where I'm there like every other day because we have block scheduling. So I'm out there on one particular day with all those classes. Then the other day I focus on my project, right? So whether it be writing or today, for example, I was learning how to do Facebook ads and went down that rabbit hole. It's a lot more complicated to do those than you think.
Tried to do that, then it's insane.
Yeah. Or for example, learning how to edit stuff in Adobe Premiere Pro, or learning how to use Adobe InDesign. Like Last Isle of the Dread Legion, I was using Canva, which is a free program.
Yes, and we use Canva for everything too. So
right. And I use Adobe InDesign not because I want to pay for it, but because I get it free as a teacher through my school. Nice. So I get the whole Adobe suite. So I might as well take advantage of that. And so one of the big learning goals between Dread Legion and Colors Out of Space was to really put pedal to the metal and grind on learning that software. And so a lot of that I've had the time, thankfully, to do this. And so therefore, in terms of the pacing, so far what has happened is I had my first one ready, issue 0, The Fishmonger's Secret. Yep. I made that in collaboration with my sister and one of my friends locally who did the art for it. I did the writing for it. They also did, at that point, I didn't know how to do any Photoshop or Adobe InDesign or Canva. So they also did that. And we simply put that on DriveThruRPG, and then we're like, all right, cool. That was fun. We did that project. It was great to collaborate together. Yay. And I'm like, but I want to do more.
Yes, I need more.
I need more power. Right. I just wanted to keep going because I was like, finally channeling that creative side of me. That's been something that has not, I haven't been able to tap into, and because I've been teaching for 15 years, and it's great, and my students are awesome, but it's not something that I want to do for the rest of my life. So,
I can understand that.
Yeah, and so again, this is not going to become the full-time job, but it's nice to be able to do kind of tap into both of these spheres.
Gotcha.
So I try to do 2 zines a year.
Okay, so that's
kind of my pace. So I had May 2005, Fishmonger's Secret. Last Isle of Dread Legion, my first campaign was fall 2005, and then I think I got that in the mail by Thanksgiving. Sorry.
I was about to say, wow,
2025.
Shadow didn't even exist yet.
No,
man.
My bad. We went back.
That's amazing, man.
Yes, 2025, right? May 2025, and then fall 2025, and then I started immediately writing the next one, and I think I started that campaign in late February. I think it ran through early March of 2026. And I never go live with a Kickstarter until it's 90% complete, right? So
yes, I appreciate that.
My idea is it's basically already almost done. For example, on this one, all I have left to do is fill out the carousing table and do some editing passes, and that's basically it. And so so I got that one done in March, April, sending it out, May, sending it out. And then I worked this summer while everybody, school's out. I just grind on this one and got that.
There you go. Nice. All right. So you said there was a question, God, from someone? Question from the chat.
Yes, we have a question from LaserCat.
All right. Yay, LaserCat.
Yeah, they said
his group puts out really high quality content on his YouTube page. I was like, holy shit, like it's insane. Those guys, yeah, LaserCat's doing good stuff. All right, sorry.
Yeah, and also before I read it out, Siri. No,
Cree?
I said Cree.
Cree.
Yeah, I always want to say it wrong. It's because whatever.
Cree.
AP. He says AP World History isn't used to play Risk. Which I thought was hilarious. I know you guys can't see chat.
Yes.
But LaserCat asked, what classes do you prefer to play as a player? Warrior type or magic type? Well, he didn't say or magic type, but
got it. Yeah.
So,
Xer0, you want to take that one first?
Yes. It's kind of funny because the first class I ever actually got to officially play was not the first class I liked, but I had to play a bard because when I ran my Curse of Strahd campaign, which was my first legit campaign, I don't know if Sage is in the chat, but my bard was doing some questionable shit. Actually, him and I almost had a falling out. It was kind of bad. Yeah. We were able to make up. We came to an understanding. And then there was like one of my friends was doing like an online game. And so I played the bard. And then I understood. I was like, no, he's not. Like, the bard is fucking broken. What the fuck? Anyway, but that's not my favorite class. I have dyscalculia. I struggle with numbers. I struggle with slots. I struggle with the spells and like the prep, like the spell system and D&D just irritates me. And I played casters so that I could learn to understand like the spell slot system better, so I could be a better DM. Anytime
so to, force yourself into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I kind of look at it. I accepted the fact I'm a forever DM. So whenever I play, I try and be like, what is it I'm lacking or not understanding? So I'll tend to play that class in order to learn something about the game. We got a Thursday game at the comic shop, and I chose to play a paladin because it was a good mix of magic and physical. But I actually prefer warrior classes. I'm loving barbarian. We're playing a barbarian in our X crawl event, and I'm just loving that class. It's actually 5.5e, which is still you, but it's way too overpowered, and it's awesome how I can exploit it. but yeah, I prefer more martial classes, barbarians, rogues, fighters, and the less magic, the better. I always say, I want to be covered in the blood of my enemies. If my enemy's blood does not shower over my character, he was not close enough when the character killed him. So.
I saw one of those videos from your local game store where I think you were in like a full muscle, like a muscle shirt.
My muscle shirt.
Yes, I love that. That was so good. Yeah.
They wouldn't let me be shirtless because I don't have abs anymore. So
good way to good cover.
They said be family friendly.
They did say be family
hence
friendly.
the shirt
Nice.
instead of no shirt.
All right, what about you when you get to be a player? The rare times it happens.
I think some of my my logo might give it away, right? And also my my campaign videos might give it away. So I am a sucker for wizards. All right, I love all of the complex magics. I love playing old man with beard.
Yes.
And you know, one of the idea, like wizards, they have to spend their life studying to get their power. Sorcerers, they're just born with it.
Born with it.
Okay?
Yep.
And warlocks cheat. Okay.
Yes. They make deals with things.
Yes. So wizards, they are the ones that they get it based on merit. Everybody else,
yeah,
they doesn't. I'm just messing around. But
hey,
yeah,
druids have to work for it too.
Yeah.
All right, not all of them.
That's right. And like clerics, their god gives it to them. But you know, there's still work involved because you have to be pious.
Clerics are just good guy warlocks. Let's be honest.
That's a good point. That's a good point right there.
They're just good guy warlocks.
Good guy warlocks. But yeah, so I've always loved wizards. I love like the complexity of that. I love the like back in the days of 3.5 and Pathfinder, just having a giant spell list, and it's like, oh my gosh, so many things to read and pick. But over time, right, as a dungeon master, I've learned, oh my god, when you get to like again level 12, level 15, level 17, these spells are these spells are like completely game breaking, which is okay, right? Because by that point, like the whole game becomes, you're basically gods.
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. And it's also like the old, at least 3.5 versus 5e. You can just see how much more powerful spellcasters were. They were insane. Like concentration, the way concentration rules in 5e, like they way balanced / nerfed wizards, and that's probably fair. But anyway, I like magic uses, but nowadays, to be clear, like, and this is another reason why I like Shadow Dark so much, is I honestly love as a player playing, and this is kind of why like I also vibed with it, because I was playing Darkest Dungeon so much, is I like the emergent, I love 3d6 down the line and just seeing what the dice gods give me, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to play the character that the dice gods give me. I've really embraced that more. And, I don't really put, I like to figure out what that character's story is live, right? So that kind of also speaks to me as a dungeon master much more, again, that emergent piece. It's hard for a lot of newbies to do this, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, hey, if you're a new dungeon master, don't feel like you have to have that skill down. That comes with experience and time. And again, my profession as a teacher really helps me in my dungeon mastering. There are some overlap skills there that comfortable in front of crowds, do all kinds of lessons in front of people, constantly have to respond to emergent questions, always have to be, where am I taking this lesson? Got to be on the fly. So I really embrace that in both play as the dungeon master and as a player. And I love just coming up with the character's voice or the character's background in the middle of the game.
Yeah, that's how Fadela is. She creates the character as she plays. She doesn't give them a full background story or a player thing. She's like, I'll know the character as I play them. Like, the character will evolve. All right,
I don't know if any of
first
my
glass. It's this time.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
We're not doing a full glass.
You will never get a 2-3 page backstory from me. This is the class and race I want to play. I may do like 2 sentences and I'll figure out the rest as I play.
Oh my! I don't know if my local friends hate me for this or not. I'm sure they're just nice to my face, but whenever they're like, hey, what's your backstory, I give 2 to 3 bullet points. That's it.
And I'm not one for tragic backstories half the time. I'm like, no, she grew up, her parents owned a tavern and she just decided she was gonna go frolic with the druids because she liked nature. Like, that's all you get.
So, my next question is actually kind of one for both of us.
Let's go.
Yeah, but you can answer first because then I'm going to steal it. I'm just kidding. Is there anything about Shadow Dark RPG you don't like?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So there's so many things that I do like.
Yes, I only have like 2.
Yeah.
So Xero's about to start a war.
And one of them's I only have 2, and one of them's being fixed with the new one. So.
Right. So I mean, I kind of feel like I want to start with a huge list of the things I do, but we can come back to that. Let's stick with what we don't like.
Yeah.
So what do I not like about Shadow Dark? Oh, I guess the easy way to answer this is based upon kind of the stuff that I've put out in my last 2. Here we go, shameless plug for my last 2 zines.
Yay!
Right? Or these last
plug
2 ones. So one of the things, the experiences I had as a dungeon master and sharing, like I shared this game with my fellow teachers and students, right? And kids are leveling up from level 1 to 2. Or from level anytime you go to an even level, it's a little bit of a feels bad, okay?
Yeah.
And for the martial or for the melee classes or whatnot,
you get half the level rounded down, but that's not it.
So like when, let's just take the core classes, right? So when the priest and the wizard, every level they get something special, right? They're getting a spell. They get a new spell every level. They, everybody always gets a new HP roll. Everybody always gets a talent roll on odd levels. But for the thief and the fighter, Right. And again, I understand balancing wise. Yes, you're getting that increase in weapon mastery on those even levels. That's great. You're
And
getting
that
that backstab, which is fantastic. You're getting that increase. That's great. It just feels a little anticlimactic, and I don't want to go super power gamey like the crunch systems that I've played growing up. But I wanted to fill that void a little bit. That hey, those classes should have some fun options too. And so what I did so far was in Color Out of Space GG2. That zine has some modifications for the fighter and thief, basically on even levels. The default setting is on even levels. And again, this keeps that RNGesus approach, the RNG. You roll on this D12 table for a random ability. Some of them are, they're of various power levels, and again, that kind of speaks to those talent rolls. Some of them are better than others. There's a lot of RNG in terms of how your character will evolve. But yeah, they walk away with a nice little bonus ability, which I'll demo some in a little bit later in the broadcast from when we look through the zine. But also in the most recent one, in my tables, some of the outside of the core classes, the Ranger and Bard are some of the fan favorites, right? For me and the group.
Ranger's really good if a player knows what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, most of my tables are 5 to 6 players, so it's often like the core classes. Those go around the table, and then somebody else is like, all right, well, I'm going to be another one of these. I'm like, I roped in the Ranger and Bard. Those came out very early as those initial supplements. And I added those to like my class pool very early on. And so they became fan favorites. And I know those classes the Bard has evolved a little bit over time, but
yes, it's changed a lot, and I see why. My Bard is breaking it in Wrath of the Sea.
The D6 bonus to carousing flat is just too OP. But
the luck tokens like candy. You get a luck token. You get a luck token.
Now, because the luck, the initial one is based upon like a DC 12 luck roll, I think, right?
Yeah.
Or
it's like charisma almost check. Yeah.
Or a charisma check.
Yeah.
Now it's just like you get a number of luck per day to hand out equal to your charisma modifier. So it's just like a static thing. But so with those two classes, right, I added more Ranger remedies because they have those 5, and then they get those abilities for their entire career. They get nothing on even levels. Period. Rangers get nothing on even levels.
One of the few they get fucked over. So, unless they roll a 2 on their talent rolls, then they can turn any weapon they want into a D12.
That's true.
Awesome. Good luck getting that snake eyes.
So like, and if you get the 12, right? 12, you choose any. So you have 2 options there, but you're absolutely right. So like, you can turning a longbow into a D12 weapon is insane, right? It's really good.
It's pretty awesome.
So I added in some more herbal remedies there, and that they can get on odd levels or even levels, excuse me. And then with the Bard, I really like how they're not a magic using class, right? They have that just the tip, just the toe in the pinky toe with that magic dabbling. And they have sort of a magic like ability with Fascinate. With the Fascinate is, instead of the original one that was like a DC 15, it's now DC 12 and a focus check.
Yes.
And it scales like half your level. And so some of the abilities I like built off that. So like, if you maintain focus, you can follow up with this song and as a part of that, which is kind of cool. So again, that was a long-winded answer, but some of those even levels feel a bit anticlimactic, and so I just decided to fill in that gap a bit. That's a small critique, right?
Oh yeah, very small. And your Bard chart, I'm probably always going to use where you want to play a Bard. And I did tell Sage, I'm like, from now on, you will use Western Reaches Bard, but I'll let you use the old school Bard for now because that's what I had.
Yeah, I just cycle things out. I'm like, okay, once your character dies, oops, like, hey, you had the benefit of using that OP one. or when we start a new campaign, I just like, all right, we're using the the updated patch has been applied, right?
So for me, the two things I don't like are like very, very simple. And one of them is being fixed. One, the GM screen. Half of that thing is just names. And it's like pretty useless to me. And the stuff that does have the information, I'm like, this is not the stuff I'm struggling with remembering. But I saw the revised GM screen and I'm like, holy shit, this is what I wanted. So she fixed it. And the other
That's good.
The other complaint I have is race being called ancestry, but everyone just calls it race anyways at my table. So it's like, I know why she did it. She did it to actually be as far removed from the OGL as possible. Some people think she did it for the whole, we're not going to go into it, but the whole political climate. But she didn't do it because of politics. She did it because she wanted to remove herself from the OGL. Because the OGL actually happened when Shadow Dark was being developed. But ancestry is just such a weird term because, like, to me, like, I'm an Irish Cherokee. Clearly, the Irish genes took over as I'm white as fuck drinking whiskey. But, like, but I'm also hairless, so that's what a Cherokee do. So it's like my ancestry is technically Irish Cherokee, but my race is technically Caucasian. Like, there's a difference, you know? So
like,
it's like, I just, the word that phrase just doesn't fit for me. And all my players are like, what's ancestry? I'm like, it's race. I'm like, okay, race is, like, they still refer to it as race anyway. So.
Yeah,
but that's it.
Yeah, so I agree with the semantics piece. Like, I always refer to, well, I'll refer, I find myself using all of the terms synonymously. Like, I will say race most of the time because that's what I always referred to it as. But sometimes I'll be like, because if I'm playing with younger kids and they have the book open and it's like, where does it say race? Oh, that's right, ancestry. It's like, okay. And or sometimes I'm like, okay, well, kids, like a lot of the kids these days, they don't understand when we used to say race, we were meaning it in the term, like that term can also mean species.
Yes.
And that's how it was used. But, you know, a lot of the young kids can't separate that. So, but anyway, so I'm going to follow up then with what are your favorite things about the system?
Oh, shit.
Like, in terms of the mechanics, let's go with that.
I love the D6 decider. Obviously, if you've watched one of the streams, I use that motherfucker a lot. I love the D6 decider. I love the gear slot system, strength being gear. I love because I've never played with a 5e DM, and even when I ran 5e, I've never played with a 5e DM that uses the actual encumbrance rules from 5e. None of them want to do the math. I've never
such a common thing. It's like almost nobody ever uses encumbrance throughout my entire existence, and that's because it's always a pain in the ass to implement.
Yeah, for my players and my cursed trial who are watching, just know every item you had a weight goal, and there was math you had to do. Every gold you got or money you got has a weight limit. We didn't do that shit. That was the first rule I ever threw out. And I don't like throwing out rules, but it was like, throw it out that one. But yeah, and also I think my favorite thing. Whoa, I can hear you, baby. Okay. All right. Yes.
I was gonna say I've been playing. Now they can hear me on stream.
Oh, okay.
I've been playing since 2001, and I have never ever had a DM do the weight.
Ever. See, that's right there. That's an indictment on that system, right? Yeah. That's an indictment on the encumbrance rules that have been in many of these systems for a long ass time. It's like, look at that right there.
So whatever.
Finnier he had said it across all editions. Unless people are being loot goblins, DMs usually don't care.
Yeah, he was right about that.
They don't care because the system is shit.
Or there's a lot of math involved to figure
it just bogs things down.
Right?
I have heard when people are doing survival, sometimes they'll do it because it matters more, but it's very specific to the campaign that they're running.
My rule was don't get too crazy and try and be realistic. Like, they were allowed like the 3 magic items that you attune to, and almost every magic item they got in Strahd they attuned to. So like and then they like Yeah, as long as they didn't go too crazy, I was okay. But if you're running around like 5 Warhammers and plate mail and all this, I'm like, okay, buddy, you're gonna need to drop something.
I'm taking all 25 of the long swords back to town.
Yeah.
There was some hilarious memes with all of that, but let's pause right here and like talk about each of these a little bit, and then we'll continue with the follow-up for if you want to keep going. But I kind of want to speak on that encumbrance system. The gear slot system is so elegant.
It is.
It is like,
it's my second favorite rule.
I can't believe how long it took me to be aware of a system so simple yet so so well done, right? And again, having your strength score, that's how many gear slots you have. You have a minimum of 10. You've got most things take a gear slot, very easy to keep track of. And and you have some free to carry there and some abstraction, but yeah, that system is it doesn't like it works perfectly when you combine it with the treasure for XP, right? Because again, your goal is to get as much loot as possible, generally speaking, and extract back to town. And now you have this conundrum. If I want to delve deeper, I'm going to have to give up. And I found some treasure. I'm going to have to give up some, stuff in my gear slots in order to pick that up. So that sort of both so I'm kind of interjecting that one of my favorites in there, which is the treasure for XP. But those things go hand in hand to really make them work, make harmony there, right?
Yeah. And then my all-time favorite rule is, of course, the whole point of it: no dark vision.
So my god!
This comes from me running again. I refer to Curse of Strahd a lot because I ran that campaign for 4 years, and my players finished it. They finished Strahd, and there was even a time in there where I'm like, "Do you guys still want to finish this?" But they were like, "No, we're into it. We want to finish it." I started that during 2020. Like I said, I ran Lost Mine and Fandom. I should have mentioned this in my origin story, but I ran Last Mine and Foundover for my wife and my 3 stepkids, and it was so nice having they had no idea if I was doing wrong or not. They were just having fun. So that's where I got to practice. And then when 2020 came along, I was looking up all the campaigns and I saw Curse of Strahd. I'm like, I love vampires. I actually do like Ravenloft. Creed mentioned that earlier. Ravenloft, it's between Ravenloft and Dark Sun. I battle between which one's number one.
Yeah.
But anyway, but during my Curse of Strahd campaign, every time I was trying to set up, and this is nothing against my players, Rabuka, who's also Sage, he's in chat. He was the bard in Curse of Strahd, but it's nothing against him. But it's every time I was trying to set up mood, set up the scene, darkness surrounds you. They're like, I have dark vision. Well, actually, I have dark vision. I'm like,
actually, I have dark vision.
Actually, I have dark vision. I'm like, motherfucker, can you just let me speak? Can you just let me? I know you have dark vision, but it's still dark. All right, to normal fucking people, it's still dark. So,
dude, yeah,
people ask.
Dark vision inflation is one of the worst pieces of 5e in my opinion.
I get dwarves having it being in mountains and maybe drow elves, but I'm like, that's it. Just let it be those two.
Yeah, so having light mattering is absolutely huge, because that's another one of those rules that gets hand waved so much. Is I need you need to see in this cave. Oh, I've got the light cantrip playing Pathfinder, and I can cast it infinitely. And there's all right, we've hand waved all light sources basically. There's some corner cases where it mattered, magical darkness is a thing that they'll have to deal with. But
then they have devil sight.
Yeah, and that's right.
It's always a counter.
And so by having all of the player characters not having not being dark adapted, all the monsters dark adapted, and then having the torch rules, the light rules, again, all of these pieces are coming together to make a really special game that that adds the tension that I've been missing in some of the games.
Oh yeah. Part of me is like, I would love to rerun 5e Curse of Strahd with Shadow Dark rule set, and I wouldn't have to change much. It would work so well. It would be harder. I do run a Ravenloft campaign. That's how we met. Is I was telling the Shadow Dark chat like, hey, I finally get to run the Ravenloft thing. It was AD&D Ravenloft.
Yeah,
I converted Shadow Dark with the help of Sly Flourish. Again, shout out to that guy. He does so much. I actually did his Patreon just to get the material and then unsubscribed from the Patreon. I gave him a month of money because I wanted this information.
That's fair game. That's fair game.
Yeah, it is. Yep. And which he said he was okay with. So I was like,
yeah. No, that makes total sense.
So every year, I started it last year. I'll be doing it again this year, though. They actually, both of the groups I ran it for actually did manage to beat Strahd. So I'm going to run a thing where it's like, okay, every time he's defeated, he's going to come back stronger, and then every time they lose, he'll come back weaker. So it's like
interesting.
So this year they're going to have a super strong Strahd. I'm using
it feels like Castlevania a little bit.
Right? Yeah. I'm going to use the Ode Nick stat block instead of Lord Hadron this time, because he used Lord Hadron and they beat him.
Yeah, I purchased print on demand of the original Castle Ravenloft. I do plan on running that in one of my sandboxes. And I also bought the Temple of Elemental Evil.
Yes.
And the Tomb of Horrors. So all of those I have plans to run with Shadow Dark rails.
Nice.
So
I would love to run Tomb of Horrors, and I hope Sage is playing it. I have it out for Sage, no offense. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
That's great.
Sage is a great player, but he is the one that will break. I call him a game breaker. I know. I saw Rabuka. I've been friends with him since high school, and I have it on my phone, but I have to go back and forth between Notion.
Yeah.
Because I use Notion for all my notes. So
you guys like to bust each other's chops.
Yeah. I got it. You can tell we've been friends since 9th grade, 10th grade.
I get it. I get it.
How he shows he likes you.
Oh yeah.
He just gives everybody shit.
We give each other shit, but I let Sage get away with it because it's like he gave me a sound bar. He helped me buy my 4K HD TV when I was a few money short. Like we give each other shit, but he's earned the right to give me shit.
Good friends. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
By the way, if we have any other questions in the chat, let us know.
I double checking. I got up to take care of the child for a second.
Oh, so you're bumping the mic again, babe.
Sorry, I was adjusting my headset. It was falling off.
Why are you just not using the good mic and just use the headset?
Because this one's portable and I can.
But you're static.
Looks like we're about 10 minutes past the hour. Thank you so much to everybody in the chat for hanging out with us today. I really appreciate it. This streaming stuff is fun, especially with alcohol.
It's fair. Yeah, that's why we drink on stream. I guess why we drink on DTA. A lot of my players have social anxiety, and the alcohol actually helps them. So it's
social lubricant. Thousands of years of precedent.
I'm just gonna go through with my questions because fuck it. And if you just come up with something you want to ask me, feel free. But here's another one, and this is another dual question. Have you ever thought about making your own TTRPG?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yes.
Ooh. Making my own. Well, I mean, I think I really got, like this whole adventure has been building my confidence, right? So like now that I've done adventures and I started just by writing adventures, right? With Fishmonger's Secret and Last Isle of Dread Legion. And now I've started to add in there player facing content, and I've done all kinds of my own things at my own table, but putting in the published work is another story. But building from here, I mean, I like this lane of continuing my line of zines. I like the GG run and having those numerical issues, but I definitely want to, I think with 2027 2028 I want to try writing my own book, like a full-on book. 250 300 page 350 page. I want to try doing that.
You already answered one of my future questions.
Yeah. As far as what it is, I've got a lot of ideas running through my head. Some people ask me. I was just on the second watch. Matt and Gary, the great guys. By the way, I think they're on in a few hours, so you guys should check out them on YouTube and support Matt and Gary because they're really cool guys. But I was on the second watch earlier this week, and Gary asked me about. So is all you're putting all these adventures together? You kind of like Kelsey, right? She wrote all those cursed scrolls, and it became the Western Reaches, right?
Yes.
Do I have a setting in mind in the future? And the honest answer is like I'll never say never. Like right now, I'm just throwing things out there that are interesting to me, and I want to write. But and I'm very much of the way I run my table is lore light. Setting light, and we kind of it emerges.
Build the world as you go, yeah.
So I think as more and more zines come about, I may now Kelsey has been a really big inspiration for me because like seeing like her produce stuff and how she runs her business, a lot of things there that I try to emulate.
If Wizards would run it like that, they'd be more successful. Just saying.
Right.
We had a private conversation about that, but I'm not going into it here.
Yeah, it's the way she runs her business is really top notch, and so she does a lot of. This is what in teaching we call this modeling. So like what she's doing is like modeling how it can be done very effectively. She's like a moral exemplar of how it can be done effectively,
how it should be done, in my opinion.
Right, and
like
so
every company should be doing what she's doing.
Right, and so with that, hey, Western Reaches now coming out. I'm really looking forward to the Game Master's Guide because that kind of puts another puzzle piece in there. I got
the PDF already. So, oh no, she did the Player's Guide PDF.
Yeah, the Player's Guide's out. The Game Master's Guide is she's almost done with it.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
But like. So seeing how she's taken those zines and brought them together in a setting, that's probably going to be a lot of inspiration for me, and maybe I'll do something in like that in the future. But for now, it's really I'm not quite sure. I think right now I'm going to keep making zines, and I know that I'm going to try to reach out and I can't really talk about it per se, but I'm going to collaborate with some people specifically. Like they've said, hey, come do this thing, and I'm going to do that thing. So I'm going to keep trying to grow. And I also, I know this is not exactly tied to your question, but I really do enjoy this streaming stuff. I would love, one of my goals for 2027, at least, I would like to start it maybe this year, but is to at least start one online table that I record and put out there, right?
If I am able, or just gladly be a player, because I get to actually play Shadow Dark, which is weird.
I would love to have you guys. I mean, whether it's on stream, which is my goal, like I literally have a stream deck and it gets dusty, it's just not getting used, or if it's just like in one of the Discords, I definitely want to do that. So and because it's a whole nother set of skills that I want to learn. So
so this is definitely us testing on how we can do online ones too. So
gotta stop bumping your mic, babe.
I'm not touching my mic. I am not touching my mic.
I don't know why is there so much interference.
I don't know.
Hopefully chat's not.
I will tell you, product placement. These Shure mics. Oh my god, they are so good.
It will be our second upgrade.
I'm totally flexing right now. Sorry, chat.
I got the Noir NW800 that Juggernaut gave me, especially with his complete audio too. He was like, it's just as good as Scarlet, and I'm like, thank you. And that's my mic here. We use a different mic for DTA that's out where Fidela is.
Yeah, but I'm not using it right now because there's a bunch of filters I have to put on for it, and I would have to switch back and forth between scenes. So you get this. But this is a semi-testing also that we could potentially do online.
So to answer the question for me, yes. I have thought about making my own TTRPG.
Yeah.
But the problem is every mechanic I come up with, I'm like, Shadow Dark has done it. Shadow Dark has done it.
Yeah.
Shadow Dark has done it. So I'm actually thinking like, okay, could I do what Deathbringer is doing and just make a Shadow Dark compatible one? But what I would like to work on, and I'm hoping none of you viewers steal the name here, but like what I want to kind of do is it's definitely sword and sorcery. But I want to call it Babes and Barbarians, and it's a tongue-in-cheek 1980s themed. And like, yes, you do have, instead of charisma, well, you'll still have charisma, but you will also have a look stat and how good looking your character is. Like babes will get, and yes, it might offend certain people, but it will be very
do you
split. Yeah, oh yeah, I don't care.
You, man. Don't listen to the haters. Just
like
do what you want to do.
Yeah, like barbarians will be males and they'll get like a +2 to strength. But if you're a babe, you're female, but you get a +2 to your looks, and you can actually get by on being good looking throughout the game. Witches will be female, warlocks would be male. Like it kind of separates it. But the idea is it's kind of paying tribute to 1980s sword and sorcery films, which I grew up watching, like Beastmaster, Conan the Barbarian, Kroll, Deathstalker, all those Italian films that were made. I love watching all those B horror, barbarian, sword and sorcery flicks that show nudity and violence. I'm all about. Like that's what to me, that was what I thought fantasy was until Lord of the Rings came out and it was a bunch of dudes. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm just kidding. I love Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
But so it kind of,
dude.
But the idea is it would be a tongue-in-cheek, sort of like poking fun at, but also respecting it at the same time, a hard line to watch, hard line to walk.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I want to create. And I am also working on my own book,
nice,
which will be our third adventure, or I say third. Technically, we're going to be doing Color Out of Space next. Then after that, we're going to, I guess, well, some people already know the title. And again, I trust chat not to steal anything. But it will be, Barbarella, the TTRPG. Yes, Creed. Yes, Creed. All right, I just saw that. There's been 3 episodes of our old streaming site, which was called Candles and Coasters, where I started, but it's going to be called Shadow Dark Force of Shadow. And that is the adventure I've been writing since a very long time. There's a line in the Shadow Dark book. God, I wish I had brought it with me, but I remember it because everyone's like, "Oh, Shadow Dark doesn't have a setting." But if you read all the stuff in the black bubbles, like all the quotes from the characters. There was one quote where it's like the Shadow Dark is sentient, almost like it's alive. Like that one stuck with me. And then, as I mentioned before, in 2018, a hurricane had destroyed our town. Hurricane Michael completely obliterated us. It was insane. And I was so fucking pissed off at it. And it was like, God damn, if only I could punch a hurricane. How do you punch a natural disaster?
Right.
And that's kind of what this is about. So Force of Shadow, there is a shadowy force. And it's going to be hard because when your light goes out, like if you're caught in total darkness in this campaign, these shadowy tendrils almost describe them like Venom's ability. Like Venom tendrils, they'll come out and they'll attack the players. And it happens instantly. Turn order, don't give a fuck. Your torch goes out. All right, but it is a flat D20 rolls, and it levels up with the party. So when they're low level, it's a D4. But if the party is like 9th, 10th level, it's a D12 damage that they can take.
Nice. I love that. That's great. I'm definitely a big fan of people out there pursuing their passions and getting into creating. Right, a big. I've been DMing with lots of different people at different stages of the journey. And, folks that are trying to figure out a program to use, or people that are like, how do I get zines printed? It's a shout out to the Shadow Dark Discord, because there is some great channels in the creator forums. There's one specifically that anybody who wants to, be a creator. It's I have it right here. Aspiring Shadow Dark creators, what's stopping you? That thread really, really full of hidden gems, gold nuggets, to get inspiration and find resources to start. Again, this whole journey of creating stuff, learning. All right, wow, I didn't realize how actually affordable it can be to find artwork for
Oh,
example.
Yeah.
You know, going on, there's a ton of stuff that's in the public domain that you can use. There's a bunch of folks that have linked all that there. Also, you can go to Drive Through RPG, and there's tons of stock art that is a couple bucks here and there. So like, even if you don't want stock art, you want to have full commission work, hey, it's a starting point, right? And you can find some stuff. And what I do is a mix. Like I have an art budget on every zine. I really love being able to, a big part of why I do this, you know, there's lots of different goals, lots of different guiding principles, and one of them is to support artists, you know, and patronize their work. And so, you know, being able to like commission artists to see your dream realized, it gets pretty expensive, but the barrier to entry is a lot less than you might think it is, right?
Oh yeah.
So
I can cheat because my stepdaughter, shout out to SillyLittleGooble. She did the art for our logo, the little skull with the torch in it. She drew that.
Nice.
That is not AI. That is human from a tiny little girl. So she's an amazing artist. I actually bought her a book too that had like how to draw like Frank Frazetta, basically. And I told her, I was like, it was a Christmas present. I was like, I need you to learn.
Oh, I think he bumped something.
Because
he froze.
He's gone.
He's gone forever.
His guy chat.
There we go.
Oh, there he's back.
I talk with my hands and I hit a button. All right.
No problem. You hit the eject button.
I did.
He did. He ejected himself.
Anyway, so like I gave her this book. I'm like, look, I need you to learn how to draw fantasy art because I'm working on my book, Shadow Art Force of Shadow. I'm like, and I need you to make art for it, and I will pay you. And I even paid one of her friends too, who can also draw. I also described that adventure as like a stereotypical fantasy adventure with a sci-fi twist, but I can't. If you ever played the video game Xenogears, you'll know what to expect.
Ooh,
but yeah, you saw that too, right? Yes, yeah, that's too. Yeah.
Xenogears. Oh yeah, hell yeah.
You know it.
Xenogears.
I knew we were friends.
Yes. We are so
That's my
friends.
favorite game of all time.
Dude, Xenogears, oh my god.
Yes.
Xenogears was, and by the way, I got in trouble for Xenogears because the opening cinematic has a nude woman in it.
Oh yeah.
You know, so
that is
a classic old school anime. And but
that nude
you know,
woman is very important to the story.
Yeah, but I like every time that you know, anyway, it wasn't a big deal. I was like, oh, skip that, mom, make sure mom doesn't see that. But that game was so awesome. It's so sad that it didn't I think they had to get it out too early, right? Because the original wasn't finished, right?
I mean,
they rushed the ending on it, but
yeah,
it was like a great game.
It's like it was and it wasn't. So it's like when the internet came out, people found out what happened. But to me, I know Disc 2 gets a lot of shit because people are like, oh, it's not finished. But technically, all you were missing was the dungeons. Okay, and I will admit, Xenogears dungeon design, not the best. Lots of twisting corridors that led nowhere. But you still got the full story. And it had a boss rush mode. Personally, to me, like, I was just off the cusp of like Metal Gear Solid and games like that. So when the Disc 2 of Xenogears, for those of you who don't know, it kind of goes into like a visual novel, and then it becomes a boss rush mode. The problem was they ran out of budget. They went over budget, and they were like, if you need to get the game out, you need to figure it out. So they did it as a way to solve a problem. Yeah. But to me, I thought the game was just mind fucking me. Like, I actually loved it.
It was crazy. That game was so deep from the perspective of like a tween and teen.
Yes. It made me question God. It made me question everything because
it's classic anime trope where you level
kill
up
God at the end. But like, and then the mechs. So that's very similar to the story of Force of Shadow. It's very heavily. I don't want to reveal too much because a lot of the players.
Keep your cards close.
But I am working on a side project that I'm calling Mecha Dark. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Next in Shadow Dark. That's all I'm saying about that.
Yeah, being his player and living with him kind of sucks sometimes.
Oh yeah, my wife has to be very quiet during the games because she knows a lot of what's coming because I can't keep my fucking mouth shut.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
On the note of artwork as well, whenever Xer0 has played, if you've ever seen his little 10-eyed oracle that is on there.
Oh yeah. I do my
that
video
is
game
also SillyLittleGoogle. So
yeah.
She's 17 and definitely encourage all of the creativity that we can. So
that's great. I love that.
All right. I got another question for you. And this is a Grim only question, not a dual question for once. So sorry, I wrote these out, so I have to ask them all. I don't have ADD, but it's like I have to get all these. When writing an adventure, do you start chronologically? So for me, I tend to work on the finale first and then work from there. Like even when I was running Curse of Strahd, I read the ending before I read the beginning. Even with Force of Shadow, I already have the ending in mind before I have the beginning. Even with Dark Sun, I have my end. Even though Dark Sun is emergent storytelling, like the players choose, already have their ending. So it's like,
that's a bit oxymoronic, but
it is very oxymoron, but it's like I already have your ending. I already know what your final task is going to be.
You were on rails the whole time.
I know. It's like I always start at the end and then I okay, this is the ending.
I get it.
How the fuck do I get them there?
He says he doesn't like to railroad us, but here he is confessing.
It's not a confession. It's just, I always come up with some grand finale, and then I'm like, that would be an epic ending to a campaign. And then it's like, how the fuck do I get them there?
That's the definition of railroading, but okay.
It is.
It's okay. It's okay. I love it. So, to answer
they'll have choices. They'll have choices.
They'll have choices. They'll have the illusion of choice. It's like it's like playing Mass Effect, right? I'm a huge fan of that.
But
then the ending is you get to choose between red, green, and blue.
What color explosion do you want? Yeah, no. I'm not quite that bad.
No, I have to.
Trust me, Dark Sun, they'll have a choice to not fight the main bad guy. They can join him. They can fight him. They can ignore him. So they do have choices, and the choices will matter. But
choices will matter.
Yes. You let their choices. But I think of a finale first, and then I kind of work from there. So
I get it. Yeah, like it's as far as adventure design for me, so it's kind of like, if I'm running a pre-written adventure, right? I will obviously I read the whole thing, and then usually these days though, I'll be like, all right, that's a cool foundation, and now I'm just going to riff on that and use it as inspiration to do whatever the hell I want.
That's what I should have done for Wrath of the Sea Lich.
Yeah. So, like for example, I'm running like the start of I'm running Strange Aeons in Pathfinder because it's a Lovecraft horror campaign, and obviously I like that. So, and the first book is very much like you're set in an asylum. That's how the characters don't know who they are because they're in a fugue state. And you have to escape from the asylum. So, and to do that, you have to do a certain objective. So it's like, it's a good start, and it's definitely on rails. It's not a sandbox, but when I get to book 2, right, I'm like, all right, well, now we're in the town of Thrushmore, and there are mission objectives, but you get to decide if you can leave the town and ignore this entire thing if you want to, and go, I put some plot hooks in front of them, and whatever they take, they go with, or I have some other ideas in mind if they do not. Now, as far as like my writing in general, what I tend to do is I'll create a 1-pager for myself of like, just do a brainstorm of, what are the gods telling me right now? So like, what do I want to do? Like for example, the reason why Color Out of Space here,
I should have grabbed my book. I should have grabbed all my Grim books.
All it's all good, man.
I can do it right quick.
I really love the Thing.
Yes, that's a good movie
from the 80s version.
I got it in this now.
Yes.
Keep talking. You're good.
You got it. But the Color Out of Space, the story is not set in the Arctic, right? There's other stories of Lovecraft horror that's set in the Arctic, like at the Mountains of Antarctic for that one, at the Mountains of Madness. But I wanted to.
Don't mind me. Just smack myself in the head with my own headphones.
Nice.
Sorry.
Nice.
Keep talking.
No, it's good. So I'm like, all right, well, I love the thing. I just watched that. I want to set something in an Arctic sphere. Okay. I want to get it, color out of all of Lovecraft's works are in the public domain. So I can name it The Color Out of Space, which is cool. But I'm going to put my own spin on it. So instead of being set up in, I believe it's in Massachusetts countryside. I can't remember at the moment because I'm like three drinks in. But we're going to set it in the Arctic, right?
Right there.
And then I just like, all right, let's see what happens. And so I just really stream of consciousness it. So sometimes it starts at the end. Okay. Sometimes it starts at the beginning. Again, I have my method is perhaps pretty unorthodox because it's not a strict one every time. But so like for the last Isle of the Dread Legion, I'm like, okay, I want to do sword and sorcery. I want to do a crash on a desert island type thing.
I'm gonna show my favorite.
I want I want pig-faced orcs.
Yes.
All right.
Oh shit! Camera.
Yeah. My camera does that too. Yeah. I need one that
I'm just showing
has a little bit more autofocus. But
okay.
So sometimes
that
I start
there. That's why I bought it. That's why I bought it. And then hold on, where's the mermaid?
Yeah. Sword and sorcery, man. It's there you go. You gotta mermaids as God intended, right?
Hot mermaid again.
Yep. But yeah, so sometimes so when I have that like basic
for the
premise
ladies, for the ladies.
That's right. I mean, like, hey, the cover, dude. Brutal Basics, by the way. If you're gonna write a sword and sorcery piece, Brutal Basics, who did the cover for this, freaking awesome. He's like he's like a fantasy pinup artist and does a lot of sword and sorcery. Does a lot of different aesthetics. But he unfortunately for us doesn't like right now. He's not taking more commissions. He's really like in his lane on Patreon. Definitely check him out, and he's putting out really hot pieces all the time. But maybe I'll convince him to. He does. He is open to perhaps to using some of his catalog, maybe licensing. He's told this is just me individually. Maybe reach out to him. Some of his pieces you might be able to license for your work. But anyway, yeah, we got. I was like, I want beefcake dudes.
Yes,
and I want beefcake and cheesecake. That's that was my goal for that. I think sword and sorcery is best when you can kind of have both worlds there.
Oh yeah, agree. Something for everybody. I'm always like, yes.
I'm gonna Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I was like, I always want my women overly sexualized, sue me, and I want my men to look like they've taken so much steroids that they can have a heart attack at 35. If you do not give me this, I'm not buying your product or your video game or what. Like, give me my over-sexualized women and give me my buff dudes. That's all I fucking need.
It's like isn't like Marvel Rivals. It's like super successful because of just like, dude, their character design is all made by Eastern Studios who haven't lost the plot yet, right?
Yes. I bought a Rogue skin. I bought a Rogue Savage Lynn skin. I'm never fucking playing Rogue because Fidela's always going to play Rogue. I also bought the Psylocke skin, who Psylocke is my main in Marvel Rivals. Psylocke is one of my favorite she is actually my favorite Marvel character. I'm looking at her crotch right now on a poster that I have of her. I have a picture that I got from actually
Rogue is Day.
Yeah, and Loretta. Actually, when I met Fidela,
name doesn't matter.
Nope. The alcohol is hitting. When I actually met Fidela, actually met her at a comic book shop, and she was wearing a rogue outfit, and I was like,
it was free comic book day too.
It was a free comic book day too.
Nice.
For some reason, I had lost all my game. And at this point, I had went through a pretty bad phase. I went through a breakup, and then I got to the point where I'm like, women are nothing but sexual objects. Like, it was pretty bad. Yeah, I was in a very bad slump. And then I met her, and it was like, what the fuck? Why can't I get any game on her? Why? Like, I know what to say, I know what to do. And I kind of was creeping on her. Then finally, she was like, she noticed, and she was like, hi. And then I was like, game on.
That awkward hi because I kept following me.
Because I kept like following around the shop when she was looking at comic books. I would just be on the other side. Yeah, it was very awkward. But then she finally was like, hi. And I was like, game on.
It wasn't obvious about it at all.
Nope. Totally made a nat 20 on myself, Chad.
That one.
Nice.
That
nice.
one.
I honestly don't remember the original question now. I think it was about a game design or something.
Yeah, chronologically. Yeah. I got more questions though. So, you got any questions for me? It's supposed to be a duel interview, and I've been like grilling you.
I mean, let's see. I know we have to be done by 7. So, because that's when I'm sorry, 7 Pacific time. Oh, what is that? 9 your time?
Yeah.
Is that when your stream normally ends?
I'm good to go as long as you can go. How long can you go, Grim?
I can go as long as I can stay conscious. So we'll probably
around that. No.
Yeah, we'll probably keep it around there just for the sake of the audience. But
when I advertised it, I never told them the end time.
True, that's a good point. We'll just play it flexible. But question for you, as far as like goals and aspirations for Deadly Torch Adventures, tell us a little bit about like where you see yourself in the short term and the long term. What are you trying? Like, what are your goals? What are you trying to achieve?
All right, so one of the main goals, and I know it sounds odd, it might not actually be a main goal. I can't say too much, but my wife, my lovely Fidela, she fucking hates her job. Her job pays very, very well, but she's in a position where she hates the company. She hates what she does. There are times when she has to work long hours.
Hopefully they don't see this. And
yeah, I know, right? Losing family time.
I really fucking hope not.
Yeah, but she hates it. So the first goal that I have is to get enough money from the stream to where she can quit her job and not work. That is the first goal. The second goal is to get an actual legit, I've been looking at one of those pop-up houses from Amazon, and I actually have a decent yard. I own about a half acre of land, and I would love to have a pop-up house in my back that I can turn into like a Shadow Dark dungeon and full-on recording studio. So whenever
recording studio.
Yes.
Dungeon, not for the what I was thinking that was going on.
No. That's the bedroom. But yeah, full on like legit recording studio. And also when my home game comes on, because I do a home game almost every other Saturday. Well, supposed to be every other Saturday, but we're canceling this Saturday because I gotta take the day out to dinner for her birthday.
Nice.
But the idea would be able to get like one of those pop-up houses and turn into a legit recording studio, as well as a Shadow Dark space, like make it look like a dungeon and have a fridge for snacks, bathroom. So like we can meet in my backyard. And then honestly, I wouldn't mind even renting it out to other groups if they don't feel comfortable doing a comic shop or something. Like renting it out to them would be cool.
Nice. Sort of like an Airbnb, but for hosting your game.
Yes. That is kind of like the realistic goals.
Cool.
As far as the long-term goals, I don't necessarily want us to be as big as Critical Role because I don't know if I can handle that.
That's a lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure. Yeah, I don't want to be known as and I think Glass Cannon has definitely beat us as being like the Matt Mercer of Shadow Dark Order. Glass Cannon definitely beat us to the punch. They do amazing work from what I've seen. But my goal is if we could make just enough to where we could do this as our full-time job, and if I can make what I make now and be able to eventually quit my job, though I actually like my job, but if I could actually, I do get tired of rubbing backs, but like if I could Like being able to do this full time as a job would be the main long-term goal for
Cool.
both of us to make a living doing this. So
nice. Well, that's great. I love I'm a big fan of ambition in people. I think, you know, ambition gets a bad rap.
It does, but it's good to be ambitious.
It's good to be like have goals and want to pursue them, and you know, and want to better your station. So that's great. Well, I'm definitely here to. I'm a big fan, and I'm glad I got in on the ground running.
Yeah.
OG
definitely.
DTA fan here, subscriber. Very cool. And thank you to everyone. Looks like we got 17 people here in the stream today.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's
Thanks
one
for
of
joining
our biggest
us.
streams. I need to have you on more often. I got a question though. Are there any pre-made adventures you would like or recommend to GMs or even new GMs? Are there any like pre-made, even if it doesn't matter what system, are there any adventures that you would recommend?
Yeah, I mean,
any OSR adventures. Now that I'm thinking about it, because I need some of them.
Yeah, I'm definitely not the most, like I've told other channels this, like, because my play experience starts with 3.5 roughly, and you know goes into 5th edition, and I don't have as much of the pedigree of the past as a lot of the Gen Xers have. But and I'm trying to make up for that at my tables, right? So I've been like, and the way I do that is I don't just run it once. I like pick one thing and I run it in all my groups multiple times to get those reps in. So I'm trying to rectify that by running Keep on the Borderlands. I've watched, like you mentioned earlier, Professor Dungeon Master has a lot of great content on that.
Oh yeah, that guy. Shout out to him.
I've been watching him for like I've been watching him for like a decade. It feels like. So I was so happy to support Deathbringer. And I don't even know how much of it I'll use. I will use some of it.
Deathbringer question for you. So.
But it didn't matter what he made. I'm like gonna support. I wanted to support his product, right, at some level. So it just turns out that there's some aspects of it that we'll get to that question then. Yeah, in a moment. But so my recommendation for folks is because my journey is taking me into the past. I am trying to learn the origin of the game more because I never experienced that.
Same.
I would go to Drive-Thru-RPG and buy some of the get the print on demand. They're not always the best quality in terms of print quality, but you can get the PDFs / print on demands for some of the original adventures. And though I love how there's a name for it. Some of them are written in High Gygaxian. That's what it's called.
I like that. Yeah,
it's High Gygaxian. But I love delving into the past and pulling out those nuggets for my table today. And it kind of lets the spirit of Gygax live on at my tables. So I highly recommend playing the original stuff and adapting it as you can see fit. So that's where my head is currently. But if you're just starting, right, Kelsey's dungeons are also it doesn't really need to be said, but everybody recommends in the chat in Arcane Library. If you get the quick start for which you can get these for free, not the physical copies, but the PDFs you can get for free on the Arcane Library.
Know what you're about to say.
For the Game Master's Guide and the Player's Guide for Shadow Dark and Scarlet Minotaur. Let me get what is the full name here?
The Scarlet
Minotaur. It is the Lost Citadel of the Scarlet Minotaur. It's a great start for learning the system, and it has a nice balance of encounter types, and it's like that is a great first delve. And as far as like, let's see, other adventures, I'm gonna have to go with like, look, you got to. I know is Cree still in the chat? Cree is here.
Cree.
Okay, Cree is here. You
Fucking love that guy.
You got to check out Cree's work. Okay,
Yes.
with his latest Kickstarter. It's still open to late backers. So Cree, if you can, I don't know how Twitch works. I'm a Twitch noob, so if you can put your link in the chat, I would say you should do it.
I
but
think Fidela has to give him permissions, but he is more than welcome to.
Yeah, or just join the DTA Discord and find Cree's link there.
Find Cree's link. Yeah, join the DTA Discord if you have not.
I do believe, I don't think I disabled putting links in the chat just so people like Grim and that came in, they could put them. So
gotcha.
I actually set up Grim's zine link he sent earlier as a Nightbot thing.
Thank you.
Out, so,
appreciate that.
Yes, Nightbot is advertising you for us.
So we'll probably leave that up until the
all right, here's a question.
It closes, and then there's also a hashtag Grim, or not hashtag, a command. So if you do !Grim, it'll actually pull it up as well. So.
There you go. Grim, lots of feedback, Fidela. And I'm eating from the mic as well.
You could one way to do that is you could mute and then unmute when you want to talk.
That's what I've been trying to do. I actually have myself muted on the stream, and I forgot to mute myself on the browser.
You're good.
I'm trying not to do too much for you guys.
So,
you're doing great. You're doing great.
Are there any other systems you might want to write for? Are there any other systems besides Shadow Dark you like? I love Shadow of the Demon Lord. In fact, I got a fun story to tell. Like, when it came down to my 5e replacement, it was between Shadow of the Demon Lord and Shadow Dark. Shadow of the Demon Lord is written by Robert J. Schwab. And he actually worked on 4th edition and 5th edition D&D, and then he left Wizards of the Coast to do his own thing because he saw the writing on the wall with that company.
Yeah.
And the only reason why Shadow Dark won and why we're having this conversation, because otherwise I would be all into Shadow Demon Lord community. But the only reason why Shadow Dark won is because Shadow Dark uses all 7 dice. And when I buy dice, I want to use them all. Shadow of the Demon Lord only uses D20s and D6s.
Oh, yeah.
But it is an amazing system, especially if you like multi-classing. Because you can start as a character, and each time you level up, you can pick stuff from a different class. Like, it does multi-classing so well, and it also has a very like grim dark setting. The Demon Lord is a heavy influence that the game master can use. Players roll with a Bane or Boon, and they add a D6 to the D20 roll, and the D6 will either add to the roll or minus from the roll, depending. And I ran a Shadow of the Demon Lord thing that went pretty well, and it came very close to beating out Shadow Dark. But when I looked at Shadow Dark, I'm like, when I buy dice, I want to use all of them. Dice can, especially because I'm an elf when it comes to dice. I like the highest, purest quality, and I'll spend money on some good dice. Like, I don't have a lot of sets. My wife is a dice dragon. I'm more like a dice elf, as I call it, because I want I want the sets that look pretty, that look nice, and that's what I use.
Okay, in my defense, I have been collecting dice since I was literally in high school.
Sure. She has like 125
sets. Years. I think last I counted was like 130 some. But,
but anyways, are there any systems you might want to write for, or any other systems you might like that you found?
Yeah, so as far as other systems, definitely like lots. So if we talk about Shadow Dark and like the what do you want to call them? I wouldn't say subsidiaries or Shadow Dark hacks. I'm going to take those off the table because I would like to try Dark Space. I would like to try other
I'm doing
Shadow
Cyber Dark soon. I'm doing Cyber Dark.
Other things
Cyber
like
Dark's
that.
what I'm most excited for. Yeah.
But my perception of the question is like, well, that's kind of already in the Shadow Dark space. So moving from that, one of the I have right over on my shelf, right over here, I've got the I recently bought the Mothership.
I've heard so many things about Mothership. Yeah.
Yeah, the sci-fi horror. I'm a big fan of sci-fi horror. So I want to crack that open, play that, and dabble a little bit in something not like so Shadow Dark scratches the fantasy itch, and I want something to scratch the sci-fi itch. So I started my delve, if you will, into writing with a cosmic horror piece, right, for Shadow Dark with the Fishmonger's Secret.
Yes.
And you have
yes. Right. I had to get your stuff to prove I'm not a fake. like I'm a huge Grim Games fan. Legit.
You're too kind. Yeah. So product placement. My latest Kickstarter, ladies and gentlemen, you can always buy all of the past zines, right? All of the.
So I'm real.
There you go. You're a real fan.
Yes.
Very cool. Thank you so much.
Especially this one because it's got our shout out with Deadly Torture.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Be an immortal tier backer, and you will be I can't speak straight English now. You'll be forever immortalized.
Alcohol.
Yes, alcohol. Who knew? That's what it does to you. You'll be forever immortalized in that special thanks section, like Deadly Torch Adventures is. But I would like to make some so I did cosmic horror in fantasy. I would like to do. I think cosmic horror can fit well into sci-fi horror. Those naturally can splice as well. Mothership hits a lot. I haven't run it yet, but.
Mothership.
It is I saw it at my local game store. I'm like, indie stuff at the local game store, let's fucking go.
Hey, Comic Emporium at our local game store is starting to, thanks to you.
Yes. Thank you guys for, by the way, for those in the chat who don't know, these guys are legit. Like Comic Emporium in Florida, Panama City, Florida. Shout out to you guys. First
dox us.
Local. Well, I mean, like anybody can find this. It's not you specifically. Your house and address.
I live very close to Comic Emporium, like 10 minutes away.
Well, there you go.
Okay, now you're
you're making it easier.
But so nobody can find us. Now you're just gonna throw it out there.
Comic Emporium has they were the first to purchase my zines in bulk. Very cool. They're the first to also buy a restock. Yeah, absolute legends over there.
I was gonna say I was there not too long ago, and I always look at the Shadow Dark session, and there was only he ordered like what 9 or 10 of your stuff. I don't know what the initial order was, but there's only 3 left.
4 of each.
There's only 3 left. There's 2 colors out of space, 1 last out of the Dread Legion, all of the black and white versions. That's all that was left, and then the rest was the Shadow Dark books. He can't keep Shadow Dark in stock either. The books always sell out.
That's so cool. I need to do a better, like one of my goals, I need to do a better job of going back to the local game store and like really being evangelist for the system. It's just because I've been so blessed to have a lot of friend groups locally that I play with, and my time is like, is really occupied by that. And so I don't really go to the local game store as much to play, but I need to really focus on like going there, and because I really want to get involved heavily with Shadow League, right?
Yes,
so for those that don't know, like Shadow Dark wants Kelsey wants to roll out a full-on Adventure League competitor. I don't know if she would frame it as a competitor, but Adventure League competitor league. Yeah,
I have to piss, but please explain Shadow League while I'm gone.
Yeah, no problem.
Breaking the seal.
So
I need to
Shadow
take over for a second for him.
You got it. Whatever you want.
No, you go. You go ahead.
I got it. This is my stream now.
Yeah,
this is my channel now. So Shadow League, right? Everybody out there, it's an Adventure League competitor, if you will. So Adventure League is organized play at your local game store. And there are sort of like the main company comes out with adventures that like stores all over the country will run, all over the world will run, sort of standardization there a bit. There's kind of swag that you can earn, and it's a great way to network and organize and find people to play. So like a lot of my local groups actually were founded by meeting at I didn't actually play in Adventure League, but I was like playing some other like tabletop war game while Adventure League was going on. And one of my great local groups started through a network of Adventure League for 5th edition. And Kelsey has ambition to perhaps compete in that sphere with Shadow League, and it not just at your local game store, but in digital spaces, other maybe at your local library, community center, or whatever. And I want to be more active in building that. Like, one of my goals is to teach the game to as many people as possible. I do that at my school, and I want to do that. I don't know if I'll do it at the local game store. I want to possibly do that, but again, time is the main issue. But whether I want to be like a Shadow League facilitator or manager or whatever, the person who does it at the local game store, or I'm even thinking, if my school principal, the admin, will approve, I would love to do like an after school program of Shadow League at the school as a school club, awesome. Like with students and maybe even their parents, because I run some games with teachers, students, and their parents right now, teaching the system to people, and they've been having a lot of fun. So I want to keep building on that.
I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more questions. They'll
5 more questions.
Yes.
Okay, it's 7 o'clock. 5. We're gonna go lightning round questions.
Yes.
On if there's teaching though, Xer0 does actually do a Learn to Play Shadow Dark game every 3rd Saturday at Comic Emporium. So if anybody is near us and wants to come by and see how he is as DM in real life.
It's a bit different than on stream. It's a bit different on stream. I think
I'm definitely. Well, I mean, like your local game store, you probably can't be rated R all the time.
No, there's actually a no profanity thing, and I'm like, that's like 90% of my vocabulary is fucking cussing. So,
and then we have a local convention that sort of started.
Yes,
it's still kind of small.
Panama City Comic Con.
But yeah, the Panama City Mini Con is what they're calling it right now. And this last one, we actually had a small Learn to Play Shadow Dark table at it. So
I wrote a zombie apocalypse scenario. So before Kelsey wrote hers, this year hers.
I definitely want to get out to Florida at some point and visit you guys. That would be amazing. Do it around your con time.
We're very touristy towns.
We are.
There you go.
All right,
lots for tourists to do.
So this question should be quick. Would your players describe you as a just and fair GM or cruel and unforgiving?
I love that question. Absolutely. I am here are some of my common phrases. Okay. I think this will kind of give it away.
I need someone to get me an ice cube from the ice cube tray in my freezer. It got
so one of my common phrases. That's so sad.
That's so sad.
That's so sad. All right. Well, am I not merciful? Right. I steal from the Gladiator there.
Yeah.
But basically, in my tables, like I prefer to. I try. My DM philosophy is to be consistent. And I'm not always a stickler for rules as written, but I generally am. Rules as written, and then tweak where they, like, again, Shadow Dark is a great foundation for. I tell the players, advocate for yourself, lobby for yourself.
In a box.
If you think that you should have advantage for something, lobby on yourself behalf, make your pitch.
Yeah.
And I may grant it to you, right? Am I not merciful?
Right? Didn't hear that. Robuka, did you hear that? I'm just kidding.
But I typically, like, for example, if people tell me, but rule of cool, and I'm like, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I got you.
Again, I get it. If it can sometimes depend on the situation. Like, there's flexibility. So, like, giving a luck token. Right, that's a lot of GM fiat when they give a luck token. But you know, I tend to not bend the rules, and why is because when you start to bend the rules heavily, especially if you're playing something like Pathfinder, well, now you're devaluing a huge chunk of the choices another class has made. So like, and that's one of my actually criticisms of those systems is like, you just took this entire feat tree in order to do this, but this other player wants to do it because rule of cool. Well, now you just invalidated all their choices, right? So whereas in Shadowdark, again, in like 5e and crunchy systems, 3.5, Pathfinder 1e, I find myself saying no a lot because of that. In Shadowdark, right, because it's a rules light system and it's like, describe what you're doing. Okay, all right, you do that thing and roll with disadvantage, or you roll with advantage, or advocate for yourself. Oh, that makes sense because of your background. Oh, your title. Yes, of course. You know, so like it creates that foundation of flexibility.
I like to do rule of cool within the rules. Like, okay, I get what you're trying to do, but let's see how we can quantify it within the rule set to do it. Though I'm not above, like, I look at it like this. I think, like, when you're running a system for the first time, absolutely run it rules as written. I know people don't like that, but it's like, no, you need to know why
you need to learn how it works.
Yes, you need, except for the 5e encumbrance rule, we're all tossing out the window. Sure, but like, you need to know why a rule is there in the first place, and then once you can analyze why that rule is there, why it makes sense, why it's there, then you will have the knowledge you need, whether you can toss it or keep it, you know.
Exactly. And that's why I think that's a big in the Shadowdark Discord, a lot of vets tell newbies, do not tweak with the roll to cast system, right?
No, don't. That system's perfect.
Try it rules as written first before you mess around with it. Because a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, my players are not going to have any spells. Bro, just chill. No. Let it happen.
In my experience, my Magic players are fucking machine gun turrets.
Yeah, I mean, like, so early game, sure, you might, if you get super unlucky and roll constantly bad, well, roll better, okay?
Yeah, no, I got a fun story to tell. I was running a Xer0VI Victory, Tomb of the Dust Queen, first time.
Oh shit, I forgot to mention Xer0VI.
I love Xer0VI. Yeah. Who hurt him? Every time I read one of his adventures,
he's a guy. It's a guy. He's got several pseudonyms that he uses, pen names. Yeah,
he does. But every time I read one of his adventures, I'm like, who hurt you? What AD&D DM killed you? Like, Tomb of the Dust Queen, you got a gelatinous cube, a basilisk, a zombie owlbear. I'm like, and it's a first level adventure. I'm like, I guess Shadowdark doesn't care about balance, but I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how are you supposed to beat this? So I had fucked up, and with the first time I ran it, and Sage Rabuka was in there. And I forgot how the spell scrolls work. I thought that if he successfully cast a spell, he had learned the spell. So I accidentally gave a first level player Fireball.
Oops.
And my party called me out on it. And then I recorrected the rule. They were like, no, you said. I was like, all right. And then I thought to myself, I'm like, all right, it's like a, DC 13, 14 to cast? I'm like, what are the chances he's going to roll that each time? Right. This motherfucker rolls it every time until they finally meet the Dust Queen, and like the third round into the Dust Queen fight, he finally fails to roll, which is a spell. He bypassed the whole dungeon. Fireball. I'm like, you motherfucker.
Hey, it finally comes back around. I mean, I tell you what, that when they critically mishap at that moment, right?
Yeah.
I've had parties almost TPK because of a crit fail on a fireball or something like that. But yeah, Xer0VI Victory, I think, I can't at this point, I can't remember exactly if that's the name, but Tomb, what is it? Shrine of the Jaguar Princess.
Oh, I have that one.
Really, everybody's got to try that one out.
I'm running
so good. I've run it multiple times. It's a great adventure. It's like I think it starts at level 3. Yeah, so that's a great one to add to your repertoire. It has my favorite
trap in it, where it's like, if they fail this trap, they take 100 d6 damage, and I'm like,
yes,
just fucking kill them. Like, at that point, I'm not gonna roll 100.
I just opened up Google Dice for that one. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna use Google Dice for this one.
All right, Now this question, because we mentioned it before. Deathbringer. Ha ha ha. Deathbringer is coming. And I know you and I are both excited. We've talked about it before. Do you plan to write a specific Deathbringer zine?
Oh, yeah, that's a good
That'll
question.
Be an instant buy for me. Just saying.
I
already love it, so
thank you. So yeah, first of all, number one, I backed Deathbringer. I'm super excited for it.
Mm-hmm. I did the $500 tiers just so I could get all the UDT.
Nice.
I didn't pay it for though. Like I didn't pay for. So.
I don't know how I feel about I'm not sure if I'm sold on Universal. Was it UDT, Universal Design Terrain, or something like that?
Yeah, or UDT, Universal Terrain, something.
Yeah,
Universal Dungeon Terrain. Yeah,
Dungeon Terrain. Yeah. But I mean, I wanted the hardback, and I wanted the Dungeon Master screen, purely because we're bringing back chainmail bikinis.
Yes.
Okay, we're making them great again.
Yes.
So and I'm like,
have my Red Sonja action figure.
Yes, Red Sonja.
It's in the room. It's in the bedroom, not the office.
And so I saw that. I'm like, I gotta have that. Yeah. Now, but I like the ideas around I like the death like the whole mechanic around death, which is interesting.
Yes, and you get a boon for dying. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to run it at every table, but I definitely want to have a Deathbringer table where I do that. And again, I love the aesthetic of the game. I like the old school mentality. And it definitely fits my vibe. So number one, I'm gonna definitely play it. Number two, write for it was your question. Look, again, I will have to check to see what his licensing is. I'm sure it would be fine because his is
flexible.
Yeah, I'm assuming because his is under the Shadow Dark license that. But again, how much of his book are you allowed to do in your book? For Shadow Dark, it's pretty straightforward, right? You can use the spells, you can use the monsters verbatim. You cannot use the the core classes verbatim. But you can it's debated. I know people in the chat will have there's debate on it, but yeah, the as far as I can tell, you can say the name and cite it and so on, and people can go and look at the book itself and find the rule. But I would definitely like to write something for it. That's for sure. I'm gonna probably we'll get the PDFs first. I'm definitely one that I want to have the physical book in my hand, and then it'll be in the queue for sure, right?
All right.
So, but I need to consume the whole of the content, and then let it marinate in my brain, and then make something out of that.
I'm excited for those statues I'm getting to, but I'm also like, where the fuck am I putting them?
Yeah.
All right. So here's this question.
Statues?
Yeah, I didn't know I was getting it.
Tell me the.
Well, because I backed one of the more expensive tiers, I'm getting Deathbringer and Deathbringer wife. So I'm getting a buff dude and a half-naked chick statues.
Yes, you got a bunch of figures in the background there, so you can add it to your repertoire.
Yeah, it's actually a 600.
That's not even like a third of what he has.
Yeah, this is just the office. We got the bedroom too.
It has 2 bookshelves and his entire dresser top full of.
I like the Mythic Legions.
I mean, a long dresser top.
One day I'll do a tour. All right.
Nice.
All right. I know this became a Grim Game. Oh, do you got a question for me? I've been grilling you. Do you got?
I think at this point, because we're super late into the stream, we'll probably just do lightning rounds for me. And I'll go ahead and for those of you who want to see the zine, feel free to check out. The link has been in the chat. I think I don't think I'm gonna, unless anybody really wants to see a sneak peek of it and me to share screen, we'll stick with. I'm enjoying this interview dynamic. This has been a lot of fun. So,
all right, like I said, I got 3 questions.
3 questions. All right.
One of them I can will be individually. The other 2 I can combine into one. So 2 questions.
Okay.
And then if you got anything else for me,
Yeah, I'll probably give you one at the end then.
You kind of already answered this, but feel free to elaborate. But are there any plans to make a full-on campaign setting or a world, or like a level 1 to 10 level long adventure?
That's a great level 1 to 10. So like that would be like a full adventure path. Like if you're going
full-on campaign for Grim Games, like level 1 to 10 or 0 to 10 if you're doing the gauntlet. That's what Force of Shadow is going to be, by the way. So, like,
nice.
What I'm working on.
Right.
The stream will be the play test of it, and then I'll pick your brain about getting it to print and Kickstarter. So
cool. Yeah. So again, I'll just say never, right? At this point, like if you check the it's so funny. In the back of my zines, right, the very last page before the back cover, right, there's always this upcoming projects section. And if for those of you who are been buying them all and paying attention, which I know is very few people, but most of those projects have been on there since the very first one.
Oh yeah, we got Beyond the Wyvern Shadow, the Drowned Temple, the Four Conquests. Well, you answered my next question.
Literally from the first scene here. This is from the I still haven't written the Drowned Temple, and I've been plugging it since my very issue 0, and it still is on the pipeline because every time I want to do a next zine, it's like I have another idea. So, and I've even got a couple of comments in Discord like, hey, are you going to do the sequel for it? I'm like, it's in the pipeline. But so yeah, I've got a lot of content that I want to do, and I think eventually it will become, that will eventually naturally unfold like a 1 through 10 campaign. I know in my in Color Out of Space, there's a tease for this one called The Four Conquests of the Mage Tyrant.
Oh yeah, high level epic adventure that functions as a
actually, you know what?
To a campaign.
I'm gonna try sharing screen now that I'm highly intoxicated.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, can you guys in the chat see this?
It worked. Yes, share.
Very cool. So
through it so fast.
I'm scrolling all the way to the end. Now I've actually Big Eggs Black Pen, which is an amazing username. I commissioned him to do like a bunch of art in the last 2 zines, but I actually had him do a teaser piece of art for the Four Conquests, and you'll see this in the zine right here. So you get this, Oh,
damn.
Yeah. So what this picture is the Mage Tyrant here. This lady, she's on a. I had written her as a clockwork dragon, if you remember from like Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Clockwork dragon. So, but I send him like, all right, hey, clockwork dragon, steel hellkite, steel dragon, do something with that. And he made he made a mecha dragon, right? And
I love mechs and I love dragons. So
yeah. So you've got this right here. I've actually run this game with a local group, this adventure, but it's a big major adventure anyway. So the Mage Tyrant, she is invading the city of Brass on the plane of fire. Okay, so that is like a capstone piece. So like what I'm writing right now I'm gonna scroll all the way back to the top. So Servants of the Dragon
artwork.
So, yeah. Alexi Gorboot is an absolute legend. Okay,
reminds me of Frank Frazetta's Death Dealer. Like,
exactly. Right.
Fucking love
and so this is a 5th level adventure. The Four Conquests of the Mage Tyrant is like capstone 9th, 10th. I feel I'm probably gonna hit that one at least in 2027 or so. And
I'll be buying it and running it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But as some of these pieces continue to come out, I think that would happen when I get to that point of creating my own, Western Reaches type thing. It's like, all right, now I'm going to bring these narratives together, and then I'm going to some of them don't make sense together, right? Like not all the pieces that, some of them are high fantasy, some of them are cosmic horror, some of them are sword and sorcery, but
hey, I gotta
some of them. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I actually have an adventure that's kind of like that. I should get it. Hold on. Keep talking. Hold on.
Yeah. So like the idea being, eventually you have enough pieces of the puzzle and you kind of release them together as like what Cree inspired me with his Kickstarter. He released his zines as also an omnibus package. I think I'd like to do like those that are kind of tied together in terms of my setting. Eventually I'll release in like an omnibus in a hardback,
So one day I went to Amazon and I typed in system agnostic adventures. Like, what did anyone make an adventure you could run in any system?
Yeah.
And what popped up, we might get banned, but I don't care. That right there, the island of the putrid haunted putrescence. It is basically Cthulhu horror, H.P. Lovecraft combined with fantasy. And
there you go.
I care.
That ass right there sold me. Like, it was written by it says Venger Asna Satanis. It's the guy's name. Nice. He does have his own system in here, but this easily converts to Shadow Dark, and I cannot wait to throw this at my players one day.
Any like BX type stuff will convert pretty easily. Once you have your sea legs, you can really convert a lot of stuff, All
right.
I forgot the original question at this point, guys. I'm so sorry.
No, you answered it already. So like, yeah. Because the original question was, are there any plans to make it a level 1 to 10?
1 to 10, yeah. So I think I naturally will like write them and then do like a special edition omnibus remaster and add a bunch of classes and stuff like that as it comes together.
I'll just say I'm excited for the Grim Games universe. Like their Marvel verse. I'm excited for Grim Games verse. All right, so the last questions I have, the two of them will be combined. You kind of answered some of these already, but what's next for Grim Games? And do you have an ultimate end goal? Like, when do you consider yourself a success? When do you take that breath of fresh air and say, I made it as a TTRPG adventure writer?
Oh, that's very sweet idea.
And now I can check chat because I'm done with all my questions.
Sure. Nice. You've checked the boxes.
Yes.
Very good. So here's the thing. My brain doesn't allow me to feel success. So
I understand that.
So it's for my brain is like, it's not good enough. Keep going.
I understand that. Like I said, I started GMing in late 2018. Really, you could say 2019. And it's 2026. Fidela told me, she's like, you've been a GM for like 8 years. You can no longer call yourself new. And I'm like, well, when the fuck does the imposter syndrome go away? Like, when do I feel like I'm not new? And it's like, it never does.
You never feel like, So as far as, it doesn't go away. So the way my mentality is, I'll just keep doing, keep going, keep making, keep producing as long as the well doesn't run dry. So I'm just going to keep producing stuff. As long as people like it, even if so that's the thing. Like when I first put out, like did my first Kickstarter, right? There's a lot of nerves with that. You have no, like, especially at that point when I don't know what I'm really doing at all. And still obviously learning new things every day. But, at that point you're like, is anybody else going to even like this? I mean, like it's already, people will review it and say it's shit, and that's okay because not everybody's gonna like everything. And I'm a very like grounded, I would say I'm a pretty grounded person, pretty stoic. Like I know that there's millions of people out there and many of them are not going to like the same things. And so I'm okay with negative feedback. I'm okay with people not liking my stuff. I'm okay with not being, I'm okay with, as long as somebody likes it, that's all that matters to me.
I love it.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's like I put it out there and take that risk and see. That's what one of my pitches to people out there who kind of like feel that nerves of, oh, are people not going to like what I put out there? Or, oh, it's going to be too hard to do this thing, is like, just try. Just put it out there. Just do it. You're going to find people that are of like minds, that like your stuff. And you're going to find people that don't like it and hate it. And that's just how it's going to be. I just, putting my teacher hat on, I used to teach AP government for a long time.
Oh,
and
God.
we would read like in the one of the Federalist Papers that really sticks with me is like, factions are inevitable in the human condition. Okay.
Yeah.
People are always going to have difference of opinion. Okay. And people are not going to like your stuff. People are going to like your stuff. People are going to be lukewarm to your stuff. So, and you're going to fail, and you're going to fail a lot. Just keep doing it. Just keep, just fail forward. And see, I'm really drunk right now, so I have
I am drunk too. No lie, I'm like,
I have no idea what the question was.
Just keep swimming. Just
it was
swimming.
What's next for Grim Games? Where do you see yourself in the future? When do you
so I want to keep
a success.
Right, thank you. So I will never personally see myself as a success because of my brain chemistry. So,
fucking Cree. My opinion is Grim's opinion, and his opinion and attacks my opinion. I love Cree.
Yeah.
Thank you for introducing me to Cree, Grim, by the way. Like, Grim tagged me.
Cree is very cool. I love Cree so much.
Yeah, he fits right in.
He's
with
so
us,
helpful in the Discord, and I really appreciate the fact that he provides so much great insight to, like, again, the Discord's very helpful. Cree's a big part of that. Definitely support his work.
I did,
because he's a super giga chad of the space, if you will.
Yeah. I need to watch this full interview he did with Fox Off. Shout out to Fox Off. I don't know if he's still here. I need to get Fox Off to interview me.
Fox Off is a great guy. I love
awesome.
Kieran, I think is how you pronounce it. I always forget because it's like the Irish pronunciation. But yeah, so I want to keep producing and just keep going, and kind of like what you guys said about your goals for streaming, right? I mean, I don't see I like my goal is to maintain part-time teaching, part-time creator, right? I want to create that because I would prefer not to be a full-time teacher for the rest of my life. But I do love the profession. I love what I do.
Yes.
I just don't love it enough to do it full time forever. I would like to have a balance between the creative side and that education side, and keep that balance where it is. So that's my goal.
I get it. I've been doing my job for 17 years. I've been, people don't know, I am a licensed massage therapist, and I am a therapist now. I work for a chiropractor that specializes in helping out car wreck victims, as well as VAs and vets of the military. So I absolutely love what I do. I've met people from all walks of life, but I've been rubbing backs for 17 years at some point. And I was a theater kid, by the way, for those who don't know. If you hadn't figured it out yet, I did study theater in high school and in college. And then I actually dropped out of college. I went to massage therapy school because I was like, I need to make fucking money.
There you go.
But and yeah, man, again, one of my goals for DTA too is not so much do like the theater kid or the voice acting element. It's kind of like, I want to showcase the game as it would be played if you played it at a friend's house, not a comic book shop. And that's why we joke. That's why we don't take anything serious. Because when you run a game for your friends, I'm sorry, you're not running a serious campaign. They're not going to let you. I tried. They're not going to let you.
That's what I love about your guys' stream. I personally, again, I understand why Critical Role and those things are successful. I know a lot of people that enjoy them.
Yes,
they are professional. They are professional actors with a lot of training, and they play a very narrative style game. And that's just, I understand that I'm not the target audience for that, because that's not what I enjoy. But one of the I mean, obviously, the fact that you guys ran my game, obviously that helps.
The fact that you came back, I was shocked when you came back for Wrath of the Sea Lich. I was like,
that's the thing. It's like, come for the fact that you're playing my game, stay because it's actually great content and the kind of game that is the kind of, it's a very real table of real people letting their hair down. Again, I am not very politically correct at my table. We make all kinds of crude jokes. I really vibe with that. I'm glad you guys do that.
Yeah, we do that too. Also, I love being able to show the flaws. It was nice last session. I felt very humbled figuring out I've been doing the carousing role wrong the whole time. So it's like,
don't feel bad about that too. It's kind of like how, when you were a kid, you learn to pronounce something from some obscure name a certain way because everybody said it that way, and then you learn later that was completely wrong. It's like a bunch, for example, a bunch of the summons in Final Fantasy. It's like my friends all pronounced it one way, and then you later learn what it actually is.
Yeah.
It happens. It took me a decade to realize, oh shit, I've been doing this in Pathfinder wrong this whole time. So it's whatever, right?
Yeah. All right, you got any last questions for me?
Sure.
I blew my load already.
Right. So I already did the goals, dreams, aspirations. How about this? So for those out there that want to be, that are, let's say they have the mantle of forever DM on their shoulders. Okay. What advice would you give those forever DMs out there, or those aspiring DMs out there? For what advice would you give them, to polish their craft?
Oh, that's a good question, because my advice goes against the grain.
Yeah.
I know like Matt Mercer and all the other, and I struggled with this too when I looked online for DM advice. Every person I said was like, a good DM never says no. And that shit did not work. My table struggled with that. And then finally, when I found Professor Dungeon Master, and he was like, nah, bitch, fucking say no. If you don't want the shit in your game, but he didn't word it like that because he's a classy guy. But he's like, if you don't want the shit in your game, you fucking demand it. You demand it. I actually have a it's Fidela has it, my 5th edition second player's handbook, where I put what Dungeon Master said about if you don't want dark vision, if you don't want dwarves, if you don't want this in your game, you have the right to do so.
Yeah.
So my biggest advice is understand that at the end of the day, it is your table. If you do not want something to exist at your table, command it, demand it. Because at the end of the day, the players can't play without you. And granted, you can't play without your players. So I'm not saying necessarily be a total dick, but lay down your law and definitely confirm, reaffirm your law. If you don't want something to happen, and make sure they know. And then, so that is probably my biggest advice, is that it's actually okay to say no. It is okay to say no. That goes
being a yes man is that's a recipe for disaster. So
I know, I learned the hard way.
You're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I also am a firm believer, again, another controversial subject, but I always make the joke that more DMs should kill their players. Their characters, not their players, but the player characters.
Please do not commit murder in real life.
But do not be afraid to murder.
Trying to get us banned. Aren't
right. Do not be afraid to. It's okay to kill a player, because when you look at stories, if you look at Game of Thrones, even though the last 2 seasons were shit, but seasons 1 through 6 were great. And I remember watching season 1 of Game of Thrones, and I really, even though Sean Bean was casted, I'm like, okay, Sean Bean's going to eventually die, because he always dies. But still, I'm spoiling Game of Thrones. Sorry if you hadn't seen Game of Thrones yet.
The statute of limitations is passed on that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You're
but
good.
Whenever Ned or Stark got fucking beheaded at the end of, the first season, I was like, that's powerful storytelling. So it's okay to have characters die.
Yes.
Absolutely. I do somewhat feel like a hypocrite because I know in the stream, like when that robot or the bronze golem really should have TPK'd him. They really should have because they fucked up. But it was like, all right, with streaming, there is kind of a weird thing where you kind of want to keep the adventure going. But it's like, I don't really want to save them, but I'll give them a chance. So that was the compromise I gave myself. It was like, I will give them a chance to save themselves. If they fail that chance, they're going to fucking die. But luckily they were able to succeed. But
yeah, you have a competing element of, you know, producing an entertainment product combined with like the rules, and you know,
it's a hard balance.
Yeah, it is balance, and yeah, it's understandable because also like you want chat interaction, allowing to use points for re-rolls. It makes total sense that it's, you know, that the streaming product might not be a perfect representation of the lethality of your particular table, but
especially with the chat being able to assist players because they basically get 2 luck tokens in a way. So remember what I said, chat, you can hinder our players too.
Yeah, I learned that just last stream, so
I know,
but that's my fault for not being as observant. But I do I do agree with you that lethality is super important in a game, and the threat, the fear of failure, the threat of failure. Like I tell my players all the time, like especially my students, right? Because I'm trying to build a solid foundation for TTRPG role play with them, so they're not corrupted by some of the zero risk versions of the game that are out there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, again, you cannot truly experience the rush of victory without the agony of defeat. And in the moment, they're like, oh no, someone died, it sucks. But when they have experienced like both the pain of defeat, but then like that triumph of victory, right? Those memories of those at that table, those situations, those combats, those whatever that happens to be, right? Those memories, those seeds, they stick. Like they'll have nostalgia for that.
Yeah.
Like they'll remember those moments forever. Whereas if you're playing a game where there is no threat of death, and every time that every time you're about to die, you just like, oh, never mind, Deus Ex Machina, right? Then nothing feels real, nothing really matters.
So
and
like
you're playing narrative play basically at that point, right?
So like the first time I actually got to be a player, like I said, I played a bard. His name was Mortho Torment. He was a heavy metal bard. And I actually wrote songs and stuff. And don't get me wrong, the DM is a friend of ours. He actually used to stream. He went by Gresh, but he was very much a no-kill DM. And it was sad because I remember we were fighting a dragon, and my bard had went down, and we did like the death saving throws, but someone would heal me, and then I went down again. Nearly that entire session, I kept going down and getting back up, going down, getting back up. It got to a point where I was like, I should just be fucking dead by now. Like, I would rather have my character die than to keep not doing anything. And then when I finally got a turn, because again, we're fighting dragon, I was like, all right, I want to do something creative, and I don't know how you're going to make the rules work, but I want to convince the dragon to swallow me. And when I get inside its stomach, I want to cast heat metal on my weapons and then stab the dragon from the inside out. And he was like, all right, you can do that. And it's like, theoretically, it worked. And then he was like, but when you come out, you're going to be down with 2 death save throws failed. And I'm like, great, but someone can heal me. So it was like, I killed the dragon by doing that, but then someone healed me. And I was just like, there was no threat of death throughout that entire fight. And it kind of fucking sucked. And I've noticed that, especially in 5th edition, combat lasts a long time. And I'm like, if you're a DM that doesn't want to kill their players, that's fine. You play your game how you play your game. Your table is your table. But for the love of fucking God, do not let me sit through a 5-hour long combat with no threat of death. If failure is not an option, then I don't want to play in your fucking game.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
that's I totally vibe with that. Right. Like and again, for me, I tell my players, like sometimes for comedic sake, I play it up as if I enjoy killing them, but really, it's like I am a neutral arbiter. Okay,
I gotta work on that too.
Like, look, I tell them, look, I want you to die, but the dice, we let the dice decide, right? And so,
I'm like, I want you to succeed, but the dice are trying to kill you. Yeah, my players are always like, you're trying to kill me. I'm like, no, the monster's trying to kill you.
Yes.
But I'm running the monster how it should be.
Yeah, exactly.
I've actively been trying to kill me for 25 years.
Yeah. I'm like, look, I'm not, hey, I want you to perish. I want you to suffer, but I am a neutral arbiter here. I am neutral alignment. So the dice hate you. I'm so sorry. Yeah. And I kind of back to our earlier conversation, the rules I had always rolled behind the screen for most of my career.
I started rolling behind the screen.
I didn't think about rolling public. I mean, I did start doing that a little bit before Shadow Dark, but Shadow Dark's like, no, make all rolls public. And I'm like, that's actually, I don't know why that was so hard for me to come to Jesus on, but that's huge, because then the players see again, it becomes trustless. It's a trustless piece, because now there's no player that's like, is my DM out for me, or is my DM pulling his punches? Because the DM is rolling everything publicly and the dice are deciding your fate. I am the referee.
I roll in the open on my home games. On stream, I do have a fucking computer monitor in front of me, Fadela in red, where they can see my dice rolls.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't fudge. I only fudged one episode, and it was our April Fool's episode where I put the Predator in Last Eye of the Dragon.
Look, okay, come on, that's entertainment, okay?
The fun thing about that, though, fun fact about that is I only had to fudge a little bit. That whole night, I never rolled below a 15. Like, my dice knew what was happening. They were like, nah, we're killing these motherfuckers. Like, you want to kill them? We're killing them.
But exactly. But that's the thing. If the dice decide to kill somebody, they are dead. I don't just intervene and play Deus Ex Machina then they live, because then that undermines everything.
It does. Like, death needs to matter, combat needs to matter, your choices need to matter. So.
Exactly.
And again, I do. So one thing I'll admit, I do struggle as a DM is sometimes I do like even in my Dark Sun, I have a character. I hope he comes on stream. I don't want to say his real name, but his code name is Dark Sexy. But like, he's actually a guy I know for a long time. I actually did martial arts with him. I actually trained him on his first kata, and it's funny because he actually got his black belt and I never did. But I trained that motherfucker.
He's not even joking about the nickname either.
I'm not either. I told him. But he plays a priest of the air in my Dark Sun campaign named Toro. I can't remember which one was his cousin that he cuffed and killed. Anyways.
I think his name is Toro.
Yeah. Anyways, the way he plays his character and the way he is so fascinating. And it's like, I want you to live. I want you to succeed. I do not, like, I love his character, but at the same time, I'm like, no, I need to kill the motherfucker. Like if the situation arises, I can't play favorites, but like, and same thing for Juggernaut's character. Juggernaut, by the way, shout out to him. Also Heretic. He does all of our music. He actually is a music producer. So all the music you hear on the stream starting soon is by DJ Heretic.
That's awesome.
Our Juggernaut in the chat. Yeah, he gave me free reign to use all of his music. But his character is Darkon 4 in my Dark Sun campaign, which is a Dre or Dragonborn. And his character is fucking great. And at the same time, it's like, I don't want to fucking kill you because you're like the main character here. But it's like, at the same time, I'm like, nah, you gotta die too.
The dice decide your fate.
The dice decide. Yeah, it's like I can't save you, but I want to save. So sometimes I do get personally attached to player characters because of how good they are or how well they play them, and it's like I want you to live, but at the same time, I'm like, nah, I gotta be fair. I got to be fair.
It is a struggle, and I totally get that. Like, you get to build attachment, but it's one of those things that I work on over time.
I hope Juggernaut sees that from Cree. Apparently, Cree was like, it's all good music. Spent the rest of the evening Wednesday going through it all. Hell yeah. And I've told Juggernaut he needs to make more music for us. So
very
hopefully
cool.
We'll have you.
All right. It's been a great... You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for having me on the show. And
Thank you for
really
suggesting this.
This has been a lot of fun. We should do more, make it at least some sort of, quarterly occurrence at minimum of drinking and chatting. It's been an absolute pleasure. And thank you so much to everybody in the chat for
thank you, chat.
Giving us hanging out and giving us
one
some,
of our
some
most
questions.
Hyped up chats, honestly.
I should say, thank you for persisting with this green screen of nothangness this whole time.
No, it's fine.
It has allowed my wife to traverse the terrain behind me without
thank you for my mess of my office. One day I'll have it organized.
Very
it
cool.
actually is organized from what it was.
Let's say that is compared to.
Yeah, I got a new shelf and I put all my TTRPG stuff in HeroQuest. I'm a huge fan of HeroQuest. As much as I hate giving money to Hasbro, but Avalon Hill did a good job with the HeroQuest reboot. And I own everything except for their newest expansion, which my wife is like, what do you want for your birthday or anniversary? And I'm like, just buy me the new HeroQuest thing. Like, because I love HeroQuest minis.
Or HeroScape.
Or HeroScape. I also love Gundam. I have a lot of unfinished Gunpla. That side, hold on, let's see. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. We got office reveal.
Yeah, there's my Gundam shelf. There's my HeroScape stuff. Yeah,
dude, the 3 piled high in the closet though. That's taking up half the top.
I can't show that. I can't show them. That's my mini backlog right there. That's my backlog that I think I can finish. So yeah,
epic.
I love mechs, and Mecha Dark is something. I'm sure someone in Shadow Dark Discord will do it, but Mecha Dark is something I'm working on. I might actually theory craft it with you. Show you my
I'm gonna reach out because I've been playing BattleTech on Steam for
I have BattleTech.
I've been playing the turn-based strategy game. I mean, look, it was on Kickstarter. It's not the best game, but it's scratching an itch at the moment. I was a childhood MechWarrior fan.
Yes,
love MechWarrior 2. As a kid, I had it on Windows 95.
Nice.
And
BattleTech Alpha. I don't know how well my camera's picking up shit, but BattleTech Alpha Strike's behind me.
Nice.
So
I actually used to play I had the BattleTech CCG back in the 90s when it was owned by Wizard of the Coast, but FASA lost there was some rights that they lost. There was some big copyright battle, and that CCG died, but I still have my cards. And I actually recently bought the 2nd and 3rd edition of BattleTech and MechWarrior TTRPG from the 90s. I'm doing a little bit of research on, so I definitely want to reach out to you and let's chat about Mecha Stompy.
Oh yeah, yes, definitely. All right, chat, do you got anything else for us before we end this epic interview with Grim Games and moi?
I know I've been in the background as well. Anything extra for the other half?
Yeah, anything for Dayla, anything for Grim, anything for me? This is your chance, chat. I think we're good.
Yeah, I think they're probably we
did. That's almost doing 3 hours.
Yeah, we did 3. We could do like a full on podcast. We got it on lock.
I'm pretty sure you two could go for another 3 hours.
Yeah. Oh yeah, nah.
As long as we have some pee breaks, yes, totally. Right?
Yes, I need to piss again already. But I just want to say, Grim, I'm so glad. I'm so grateful. It's almost been a year now, but I posted. So how Grim and I met is I posted in the Shadow Dark chat that I'm running Ravenloft with Shadow Dark rule set, a Halloween thing. And then Grim had messaged me like, hey, I got a free Halloween campaign PDF if you want it for horror. It was the Fishmonger Secret. I thought I was about to be hacked.
Yes, I know that. Get the folks in the Shadow Dark Discord, it is totally pretty sus. I'm so sorry in advance. I understand that going into it, and I'm like, but I want to give this out to people anyway.
But he had sent me the PDF of the Fishmonger Secret, which I later got physical because I did the Immortal tier on Color Out of Space. But and then I browsed through it on my phone, and well, for one, I was like, okay, he didn't ask for money. He did get my email address, which is sus, but he gave me the adventure, and I downloaded it on my phone, and I did a brief read through, and I was like, holy shit, this is actually fucking good.
Oh,
like,
thank you.
That artwork, like, I was like, holy shit. Now, great,
and just to be super clear, like the reason why I have to get your email is because that's how drive through. You have to send a credit to the email. But yes, it is totally feels like you're like a phishing scam's going on.
and then I was like, all right, well, he didn't ask for money, and then he gave me the adventure, and then he never even told me he had a Kickstarter because at that time. He had the Last Isle of the Dread Legion Kickstarter, and I saw it. I think you had it in your name tag. I don't know. I clicked on it, saw the half-naked chicks, saw the buff dudes, saw the pig orcs, and I'm like, I'm fucking sold. Like, nice. I am a gooner. I don't care. I am a gooner. You give me gooner bait, I'm buying your product.
Hey, look, you know, back in the day, this is just, you know, what they would say is that you're a man of culture.
Yes,
right?
I am.
I don't know why we had to start making this derogatory.
I know,
it's
right?
like people, you know, the Zoomers came up with this other term, but everybody else before us were like, nah, you're just a person of culture.
I love women. What can I say? My wife knows how much I love women. And I'm glad I don't have a super jealous wife. I could never marry a jealous wife. Otherwise, I could not own. Like, I bought this because of the ass. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
I just love how straight to the point you are.
Oh yeah,
he does not sugarcoat anything. Ever.
No,
that I'm supposed to be playing Mistfall Hunters, an extraction shooter, which I described Mistfall Hunter as like if you took Shadowdark and Arc Raiders and made it a video game. That's Mistfall Hunter. I already bought the Gooner skin.
Of course.
Like, of course. But anyways, so yeah, and I backed Grim Games' product, Last Isle of the Dread Legion, just because he never advertised it to me. Like, he gave me Fishmonger's Secret PDF. I saw he had a Kickstarter. And I was like, well, shit, the dude gave me a free adventure. I could pay $20 for a colored thing too. It's weird to get color in Shadowdark. Very odd.
By the way, shout out to Cree again. I don't know if he's still with us, but it looks like he is. But yeah, Cree is a big promoter. He's like the main head honcho of supporting color zines, color creators in Shadowdark.
I find it funny.
The cult of the Chroma Dark, he calls it. And
nice.
He was a big supporter early on to say, hey, yeah, go for it, do color. Yeah. So it's a big reason why I continued to. I mean, I wanted to do that angle, but it was really important to have people in the community that wanted to see that, and he was like, "Yeah, do that." So it was great.
It's funny because Kelsey said, because I read everything Kelsey posts, but it was like she actually said when you make third-party Shadowdark content to not make it the Shadowdark format, but so many fucking people do, and. I mean, no offense to Unnatural Selection. I love Unnatural Selection. It's a great supplement, but it does look like it could have been made by Arcane Library, even though it wasn't. And that's not what Kelsey wanted. She wants people to do their own thing. Like, I love Soulblight. Soulblight was probably the first.
Soulblight's cool, yeah.
I plan on running it on stream after.
You got a million things you're gonna run
after
on stream.
Dolemwood.
So many games lined up. We're good for like 10 years.
Yeah, after you got content for 10 years.
Fidela plans on running Dolemwood. She's actually going to be the GM. I actually might not even.
I want to see Fidela being the game master here.
GM'd before, so I'm hoping
you got plenty of player experience though. You've been playing since the early 2000s.
I do, but I also had a 10-year gap there when I had kids where I couldn't. It was too hard to play it and also then deal with the kids and not have them just destroy somebody else's house.
Sure. I'm sure you'll be great though. You'll be great.
Yeah, it should be an amazing GM.
I want to try and do a little bit at home first before I actually do it on stream. But I keep throwing it up every time Zero is not feeling well.
Yeah.
I have a one shot that I literally had a dream, woke up, I was like, I have to write this down.
Oh,
Mhm.
nice.
It has
Yeah.
to be. It has to be something that I keep saying. Well, if you really want to go, and we don't want to like cancel stream or do video games, I can try and do my one shot. Like, fuck it, let's do it.
Sure. Yeah.
First game ever DM'd live
Go for
on
it.
the
Do it
internet.
live.
Why not?
Do it live. Yeah.
Just full
If
fucking
you ever
thing.
need a player, let me know because I would love to. Either of
Yeah.
you, of course. But
Yeah.
We are
it
we
was
are
literally
working on
one
branching
stream.
out to digital.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what makes us unique is that we do it live play. By the way, if you haven't seen our streams, like, yeah, people come over to my house. We turned our dining room into our recording studio.
Yes.
Nice.
And like, yeah, and I always feel like the tabletop game is meant to be played at the table, but no disrespect. I understand some groups you can only meet online, and I understand that. But
Yeah.
it's like, I think that's what makes us unique. So I still want our focus to primarily be in people, in person, at a table.
That's great.
But again, I want to play with you. I would love you
Yeah.
to run a Shadow Dark game for me because I actually want
Sure.
to play Shadow
Never
Dark for
gets to
once.
be a player.
I never get to be a
Yeah,
player.
absolutely.
It's off stream. Like, please.
I
run a game for
completely
me.
agree with you. Like I do have a goal of eventually building a studio, like you said, and I would love to do that.
I am way too drunk
Stream
right now.
that.
Shit.
But I also want to do like, yeah, you got, do those digital games too. But anyway,
All right, chat. If there's nothing else, we can
I
go
think
ahead and
that's
call it.
I think that's it. But
Thank
thanks so
you,
much
Grim.
again for the stream, and it was I
Yes.
enjoyed drinking with you guys
Oh
and
yeah,
talking.
anytime. Back servants of the Dragon Lord, support Grim Games. Oh yeah, I didn't mention this, but I was talking to Sage about layout. And last Isle of the Dread Legion, like, this layout is what I almost consider perfect.
Oh,
I don't
really?
know.
Well, I moved away from that clearly.
Oh yeah, but like,
but
running Wrath of the Sea Lich, y'all have heard my rants. If you watch me, I am a very opinionated person. I will tell you if your module sucks. Wrath of the Sea Lich, I think could cook a little more, but this I absolutely loved.
Thank you. I mean, again, everybody's got. I've heard feedback from some in the community that hate it, some that love. Most people love it, that bought it. But again, that's just the nature of putting anything out there. Like, again, this is when I made this, I was learning how to use Canva to make a zine, right? And so the layout here is. The format is via Canva, which is actually really good for all of those out. Like, I've gotten several DMs from people who are like, "What program do I use to make I want to make a zine? What do I use?" I'm like, "There's a lot of great programs. You can learn. The only reason I use InDesign is because I get it for free now. But Canva, you could totally learn how to make stuff. But I definitely wanted to, I appreciate that you like it. Eventually I'm going to do a remaster of it though in InDesign.
I'll buy that too.
So,
but yeah, running Wrath of the Sea Lich, no offense to Luke Gygax, because he does do a good job of carrying on his father's legacy, but as if you've watched any DTA stream, you will know I'm not opposed to sharing my grievances with an adventure module. If I'm going to run your module on stream, I want to run it as is. I don't want to have to fix it. I don't want to have to correct it. Wrath of the Sea Lich, I think, should have cooked a little more because there's just things in there.
It feels too I mean, like, it was a 5e adventure.
It was a 5e
and
adventure,
then, like, they're like, hey, we're bringing it to Shadow Dark. And every time, some people do that well, some people don't, right?
Yeah.
So some people, go ahead.
I was going to say, this goes out to all module writers. So, no, Grim and Creed, this goes out to all of you. Though Grim does a good job of it. I haven't read Creed's stuff yet, but I'm sure he does a good job. I think when you write an adventure module, your job should make the GM's job as easy as humanly possible. Because as a GM, if I'm running a module, it means I don't want to think. I don't want to create. I want to run something pre-done. And I want all the work done for me. So the easier you can make that, the better. And that's why I love Last Isle of the Dread Legion. Because when I read this, I was like, and my wife and I, when we started talking about DTA, I'm like, we need to start with this because this shit's easy as fuck for me to run.
Nice. I'm glad it worked.
Because it's like, I have this map right here. I have the locations, where the players are going, where they go. I can read, get the information. I'm good. anything that referenced the Shadow Dark book, you put the page number in. And I'm like, fucking thank you. Like, this was so easy for me to run. I can't wait to run it again and kind of coerce my players to do the Duel part.
Yeah.
Because I did the orc
Well, hey,
part.
and by the way, I mean, like the fact that Kree is big into Underdark Drow stuff, that could be a nice crossover between the zines right there.
Start in one, go into the other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, the biggest difference I've noticed from him running Wrath's Sealich and running yours is we've gotten off, he's like, he looked further into the book. He's like, why is this piece I needed in the back of the book for the beginning of the book? Like, he like messed up, and it's like, yours are all like, what you need is there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Wait behind it.
Like with
really? Kree said, "Oh man, one thing I'm so bad at is layout." Really, Kree?
None of us are perfect, but
layout's very important to me. I need a good layout. I'm sure
Kree is better than he.
I think
Kree is probably the best of. I mean, he's definitely. I really admire his work so far. So I would say like you should definitely check out his stuff. I have a lot of room for growth in comparison, but I would say trying to get inspiration from how Kelsey does, like over the course of my zines. Not all, like the earlier stuff does this not as well as I think the latter stuff is like, again, she has does a great job of distilling the information that you need into very short, very poignant messages, right? She gives you exactly what you need. My earlier stuff is perhaps a bit more, I have a tendency to write more than what I need to say. And so over time, I get a little bit better at that. But the idea I try to emulate over time and try to get better at this is, again, this style of writing is very much, here are the basic details. Now, what do you do with it? Right. Whereas a lot of that other stuff out there is like, here is a million details and everything is already spelled out for you. So these adventures, they really should give you a few bullet points and then some tools, and yes, you have a goal, but you can also have some element there for emergent storytelling and making it your own, which you guys did a really good job of, and your players did a really good job of too. I love the different offshoots of
the fact that
crucified an orc or something. That was ridiculous.
I got to piss really bad. But
yeah, me too. So we probably should end this stream.
You should, but I just want to say, Aaron. Shout out to Aaron. He's a DM, but when he's a player, he causes chaos.
Dude, he's a legend.
The fact that when he looked at Shadow Dark, when he made his character and chose his god as an evil cleric, he did not know that the god he chose was in the campaign. That was not information known. He did not know anything about Last Isle of the Dread Egypt and that the orcs worship that evil god. He chose that evil god with no knowledge. And the fact that it just worked the way it did, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Hopefully Aaron can join Force of Shadow. He does have a spot because he was one of the Candles and Coasters I talked about. Him and Illyri and Fidela, they are the three that are guaranteed spots. Sure. I am working on the fourth cast member. I have many ideas. We have a pool on who we like to pull from, but we need to probably wrap this up because I'm about to piss my pants. Yeah.
Look at that. We did 3 hours, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching Deadly Torch Adventures. I'm Grim Games. I've taken over the stream at the end. Thank you so much.
You're fine. Shout out to Grim Games. Yeah. Thank you, Grim Games, for making awesome adventures. Like I said, and say shout out to Kree. I don't back things. I don't support things unless I genuinely like it. I'm not someone who can be bought. Like, I have to actually like your product. Yes. Obviously, I love what Group Games does, and I plan on owning everything.
Thank you so much for supporting my work.
Yes.
Zero. I just called you my own name. I am super
We're all drunk.
super wasted right now.
I'm not.
Thank you
I'm
to the
stone
chat.
cold sober.
Yes, thank you, Cree.
Thank you, Fidela, for being the voice of God.
Yes, thank
and,
you.
thank you for everybody in the chat for giving us questions and hanging out with us.
Yes.
And we'll see you later. We'll see you next time.
Yes,
Thank you,
next
guys.
time. Have a good night, Grim. Thank
And
you
thank
so
you,
much
guys.
for everything you do.
All right. See ya.
All right. Bye.
Bye.